How about you?
I've dabbled. I've dabbled on the line.
Online.
I'm maximum online.
I think I've still got like 7 or so of those free AOL hours left. Was stockpiling CDs for many
You've
years.
been holding on to those.
Boy, the YouTube phrasing for when you're live on the gaming side and when you're live on the regular side is totally different.
Is it?
Yeah, because it says, the internet can totally see you now.
Oh, right.
You were live.
Fucking sweet.
So it gets all colloquialisms.
Yes.
And
Hey, fellow kids. Welcome to the World Wide Web.
Still want one of those music band T-shirts.
I've been on the web.
I started a live stream on YouTube.
On
Is that an auto tweet now? Is it fucking auto tweet?
Did it auto tweet?
Yeah.
It shouldn't. I thought I turned that shit off.
It says I started a live stream on YouTube. At YouTube.
I'm gonna delete that.
Did I say live stream?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking.
Oh.
You should be able to
yeah.
go into the settings and.
Well, we
turn that
got
off.
2 because you also made one that says it's that time.
I did. I made a custom one.
It's that time
this-
to talk about video games on the internet.
Yeah.
Lowercase, as if there's another internet.
There's
There's not.
There's not.
there's that
There's
dark web.
not. That's
all-
the dark web.
It's
That
part
gets
of
its
the
own-
internet.
It's its own
It's part of the internet,
letters.
Jeff.
You're part of the internet.
I will forever
I am.
capitalize the internet until there's another one.
All right.
Mr. Internet to you.
Please, Mr. Internet was my father. Call me Dark Webley.
Oh, dark
No,
web.
no, please. Al Gore was my father.
That was my my alter ego when I used to write for movie reviews.
Frank Dark Web. Franklin Dark Web.
Twitter says we should follow Steve like the bird from No Quarters, so I'm gonna do that.
He should. Yeah.
Steve doesn't care about video games.
No,
He
but
is
maybe
a-
he
he
will
is a
now that
movie
we're
guy.
following him.
All those crazy kids not caring
is
about
that
video
how
games.
the internet works?
Maybe
man.
I should give those video games a shot.
Yeah, I can't pull up the Google Doc. Sweet.
Why is your Google Doc seriously out of
The
date?
server encountered an error. Please try again later.
Later, dudes.
Did I say later?
Oh, yeah.
I'll hold up cards for the next game.
I'll just pull it up on my phone because my phone is more reliable than this
Oh.
laptop.
Crap top.
Yeah.
So,
Sock box.
speaking of crap top, Facebook is starting to do notifications out of order and also give me a little notification for something that happened that I've already seen the notification for.
That sounds fantastic.
Yep.
I love Facebook.
That's a dick move, man.
It's really good. Have we dropped any frames? Any issues?
No.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm telling you, it's fucking flawless. And
You're
nobody-
fucking flawless.
I know. Thank you. And nobody comes here for this live stream.
That's why we have so much bandwidth.
Oh,
is
is
that
that
no
what
one's
it is?
using it.
Oh. I don't think that's how it works, but sure.
Could be how it works.
You want a taco? Taco cat?
Taco cat.
Oh, man, somebody quoted our tweet.
Oh, what did they say?
I only
Wait,
have enough
wait.
smarm for one interaction.
Somebody quote tweeted our tweet.
It was me.
Oh. Oh, it's you.
Oh,
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 Oh, it's you.
You know.
oh, it's you.
I'm suddenly way less interested.
No, God damn it!
No beef. Stop beefing.
No beefing. No.
No. You're not even allowed.
I know.
J.
We created this stupid thing, and then you're already banning it.
I am.
No.
You're right.
No.
I'm banning it.
No, you
Banning
can't.
it.
Sorry, you can't ban the beef. It makes you laugh too much. I'll never stop doing it.
Everything makes Chuck laugh.
That's
Well,
not true.
not everything. Most things. A lot of things.
My stomach does not make me laugh. Not anymore.
No.
Oh, so much for the belly laugh.
Rumbly in the
God damn it.
beef.
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 B.
Beef.
Beef.
Biff.
Yeah.
I'm still scrolling through our discussion of trying to resurrect a Core 2 Duo, whatever,
Oh.
Power PC.
Do you
It
want
wasn't even that.
me to
yeah.
text you the link?
It wasn't even that. It was like
There
an
it is.
Athlon 1 64, something like like original Athlon 64.
Yeah, vintage.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
Runs all right.
Okay.
Is there not a Google Drive app for iPhone?
There is, but for some reason it's put Star Slammer 1986 as the top most recent document for me, which is
You've been looking at them notes
our
lately?
notes. No, I have. The item was not found, or you do not have access to it. So apparently my Google Drive is just fucked right now. So someone else will have to run things. Sorry.
I can email it to you.
I will run.
Copy the text of it and email it to me, please. Because
Yeah, let's do that.
I fucking hate computers.
They're all right.
Oh, look, I encountered an error.
Yeah,
Google.
I
Google what?
yeah.
What happened?
If somebody still
This
has the
shit-
drive open, the doc open, don't close it.
Okay.
I have it open.
Yeah. Copy and
shit,
paste
like-
everything into a new document and share it with me.
I'm working on it.
This-
No. Go faster. God damn it.
It's there.
This is
Yeah.
surprisingly like this is the first time I've had an actual issue with Google Drive.
I've yet to have an issue. Currently do not have an issue.
Check your Gmail.
Email. Check
Do you really want me to make a new doc just in case or something?
beef mail? He's
Maybe?
All right.
In case we move stuff around, then we can
Yeah.
all look at it.
Yeah. Make a new doc. Invite me to that doc.
Yeah, invite me too.
What number one are we on? I didn't even look.
96.
96.
96.
God damn it! No. Fuck off.
Oh, fuck
How do
off.
you not know that we do this same time every day?
Tommy?
Yes.
Tommy.
Is it
Same
Tommy?
time every week.
It was,
Was it
Tommy.
Tommy?
Yes.
It was Tommy.
Don't call. Text. You're not my fucking mother.
Text. Wait,
asked
he
me
didn't text
earlier
you? He
today.
actually tried to call you?
Yes, that's what he
Yes,
does.
Tommy calls.
Don't you understand?
Is he
He's old.
subscribed to us? And did he see, like, oh, the notification that...
Probably. He's
Hey,
probably
they're
watching
live.
this right now. And he's like, they're going to talk about me calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Well,
a
here.
fucking idiot.
T-Straw, if you're watching, fuck off. Yeah, talking to you. Fuck off.
Delete your account, am I right?
Totally.
You are.
You're yes.
Well, he's not watching.
And
No one's
shut
watching.
Okay, yeah. We can mathematically prove that he is not watching.
All right, I've invited y'all to the doc.
I want to look at the doc.
We'll see if he'll even let me in.
I'm not going to close this doc because I may not get
docs.
back to it.
Your mother's still hanging out at Dockside Bars.
Yeah.
I love how we're literally shit posting with our voices right now.
That's true, yeah.
Yes.
Let's see if Google Docs will let me in. Oh, sweet.
Oh, the server encountered an error. Please try again later.
Get fucked.
Click the
Get
link.
chucked.
Click the link, Chuck.
Yeah, don't open and drive. Just click the link.
What link?
The link he emailed out to everyone.
Yeah.
It's where it says NQ96,
Oh.
right above his
I
head.
wasn't in my email. I was in Drive.
You should go in your
Jesus
Gmail,
Christ,
your Google
Chuck.
Mail.
Here I go.
Mail.google.com.
I'm going.
M-A-I-L, not M-A-L-E.
Right.
Mail.google.com is their employee directory.
Oh, my.
Oh, he's probably thinking he's coming over to watch the movie, but we're not doing the movie.
I told him. I fucking told him earlier today.
Fucking
Like-
told him.
I told
man.
Jen like 6 times. She's like, so
It was-
Bamcast, you have to get over there before so the movie can start. I'm like, we're doing no quarters. Like, no quarters. That's the video game one where we don't watch a movie before we record.
It was like 4 hours ago that I told him.
Yeah, you know.
We're podcasting tonight.
It's all right.
And also, it is the video game podcast.
He doesn't even do drugs. That's the thing. Like, if he did drugs, I'd be like, all right, fine. You know, whatever.
Well,
Like, I get why you could forget, but
What email address did you send?
he just drinks a lot. Which
your
I guess is a
Gmail
drug.
one?
Which one I have?
Oh, my God, Chuck.
What?
Oh, my Christ.
Which
I
one?
I can't. Let me hit share.
Was it my
again.
name?
Oh, my God.
Yes, at
Okay.
gmail.com.
All right.
Why I just had to look.
Hey, Steve like the bird.
Holy shit! He likes
Steve!
video games.
Steve,
See, all it
Steve,
took was
Steve,
Chuck
Steve,
following him
Steve,
through
Steve.
the no
I am a
quarters
social
account.
media genius.
Yeah.
You are now the Smexpert.
Yes, Steve. No Bamfcast this week.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Steve.
It's our thing. We have a hard time getting all of us in one room.
We don't have weekends anymore.
No.
So
And-
basically, like every 6 weeks or so, I
Yeah.
think is going to be the schedule. We're going to
Yeah,
be doing
5,
this.
6, whatever.
But guess what, Steve? There are still 4 Fridays in March. You're still getting all your Bamfcast content.
Oh shit! You're right.
Also, there's still 4 hot-ass bearded dudes in this
Oh, wait.
room talking about stuff.
That's
Wait,
what
where?
Steve likes most.
Wait,
They're all right
March
here.
starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah,
to March
Ah,
row.
fuck! I gotta pay my mortgage.
I know. It's fucking sucks.
Shit.
This month fucking sucks.
I get paid tomorrow, so of course it's like, oh, here's your money.
Yeah.
All right, there's your money. It's gone.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's gone.
and it's gone.
Your wife still doesn't have a job. All that money's gone. Have fun.
Thanks, Obama.
No, we both had jobs when Obama was. God damn it.
Yeah.
I know.
Thanks.
Welcome to Coors episode 96.
The original
Whoa,
statement
hey,
never.
fucking shit.
The original
Motherfucking
statement
video
never made
game.
any sense. It's only becoming funnier as it makes
know.
less sense.
Yeah, I get it.
I guess the request button on Cash is request your money from Cash.
It's not just, hey, random person, send me money.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dickhole, send me money.
Hey, Chuck's here in the dock.
I could
Good job,
see that
Chuck.
that getting profoundly
I did it.
abused.
Way to internet.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, if you actually could request money from people, like, how many assholes?
Oh no,
would
you just have to type money amount in. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Are you making Tommy pay you?
No.
Hey, Tommy, give me $20 for your intrusion. Slice of fuck.
Slice of fuck. It's
Never
a good
not
one.
old.
Yep. Just like eat a bowl of fuck.
Yeah.
It'll always work. It's like, what would that actually look like? I figure it would be kind of like grape nuts.
More like grape nut.
Yeah. This guy gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Nut.
No.
That's a colloquialism for sperm.
It is. Oh, cool. Cash is having
Also known as
requested-
jism.
Spunk.
Throat yogurt.
Throgurt.
Oh, God damn it. So should we just talk about video games?
Sure.
We got an evening set aside for it.
Yeah.
The microphones are on.
It's true. Cameras
just-
are on. Seems like as good a time as ever.
Anybody drinking alcohol?
No.
Are we out of alcohol? Like, did we drink all of our alcohol?
I mean, there's lots of vodka. Like, there's practically a whole bottle of vodka.
Why do we have?
Why?
Why do we have all that
Why
vodka?
do we have vodka?
Thank you very much.
Because it goes with anything.
Does.
I used to like vodka a lot more than I do nowadays.
I can't drink anymore.
Oh, is that part of your new stipulations?
Yeah.
Like you.
You were just starting to be cool, too.
Yeah.
It was,
Chuck.
yeah. That's probably what did it. Was
We were
was
enjoying
the,
you.
the one alcohol I had. Yeah, I was finally tolerable.
Yes, it was that old fashioned we made you. That was like what pushed your
Burned a
stomach
hole.
over the
Yeah,
edge.
it just was just like, oh God, what is
So
this?
it
You're
was
an old
so
man.
old-fashioned it gave him, like, something from the 80s,
Yeah.
an ulcer.
That old fashioned was like Arnold in Total Recall. It was like, screw you, Benny. But it was inside your stomach.
It was, yes, it was happening inside me.
Yep.
It was inner space in my tummy.
I believe you mean your tum tum.
I do, yes, in my tum tum. Can't believe I just fucking said that.
Tum-tum?
Tum tum.
Tum tum.
Well, you just missed my Quaid.
Tum.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Total Recall in inner space in your stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a thinker.
It's a tum tum.
That's a good one.
Not that much of a thinker.
All right.
Steve's here. Let's do a fucking show.
Okay.
He'll leave if we don't start talking.
All right.
Well, we are talking.
We've been talking.
No, but I mean,
We
you
just
know,
haven't
on,
been
on
talking.
topic.
No, he'll probably leave because we'll start talking about the topic.
Steve, what will make you stay? Answer now.
Probably not much.
Literally nothing.
He's really just. This is
Yeah.
just a friendly, like. He's
like-
he's trying to slowly back away from this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, no Bamfcast? Shit.
Talking about video.
I
He couldn't
something
find
I
a better
gotta
way.
I got homework.
I gotta go.
Hey.
I think I hear a mountain.
But
lion.
to Steve's credit, at least he didn't call Harlow as soon as
Yeah.
we started live streaming.
That's funny.
Hey.
He doesn't have my numbers.
Wait,
Did T-Stroll leave you a message?
No, he probably.
no,
realized-
why would he do that?
Did he
Yeah.
then text you?
No.
He's just going to show up.
I mean, maybe.
A good thing I locked the door.
Yes, it is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
It's a great thing.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
I'll arm the landmines.
All right.
All right. We should podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
I almost clapped, but then my hand was caught up in my headphone cord.
Fucking doing it.
It's going to be a quick clap.
Welcome to No Quarters, episode 96.
It's a motherfucking video game podcast.
You're goddamn right it is.
I love
I'm
it when
Mackie.
I'm right. I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
And we're back. We are back.
We are so back.
We got-
Speak on video games.
We got games.
We
took a
do.
little break to play some games.
Yep.
Finally.
Got some games.
Yeah, like
Some of us
more
played
games.
some games.
well, sometimes we're just like cramming them in right at the right. We're like, oh god, we got to record No Quarters. We got to play some games. No, we have some longevity going on in some of these, and we got words, long words,
Oh.
long.
like parliamentarian.
Yeah, anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I didn't play that,
Yes. Yes,
but
It's a pretty short game.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
man.
Yeah.
First one, I guess we might as well get it out of the way. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Remember that came out?
Woo!
Barely.
Yeah.
a little
Brand
bit.
new video game.
Oh man, and I was all about it until it came out.
What?
So,
I had a lot of people trying to hard sell me on this game, but everything they told me after a certain point hard unsold me on
Well-
this game.
Let's put it this way: I bought it digitally, so I was stuck with it.
Oh.
So you had to make the best of it.
Harlow bought his copy, and how long did you play before you sold it?
Less than 2 hours.
He sold it to Chuck.
He did.
How
Well,
long did you
look-
play
look.
before you sold it?
Hold on. I didn't
45
sell it
minutes.
to Chuck. I said, well, I think I'm done with Monster Hunter World. He's like, how much would you give it to me for?
Yeah.
Or something.
He said,
I was a little
"What?"
more
He
eloquent
said
than that.
words.
You did not.
He said words
I
out
was,
of order.
that was a
much
direct
for-
quote. How much you give him?
Why
He
you don't
drunk
say
Yoda
things
beat. He's like, how much give you for this? I'm like, you can just have it, man. Jesus.
I paid you for it.
I know you did.
Sounds like you're having a stroke. You just keep that, buddy.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
How long did you have it after whatever sequence of events led to you having it from Harlow?
From the time I hit start,
Yeah, sure.
45 minutes.
Okay. So I'm like the reigning king of
Yes.
Monster Hunter World here at 22 hours.
Put your crown on.
I know people with over 100 hours already.
I can believe it. It seems to grab certain people.
It does. And I wish I was one of those people. Like, this should, like, you think about how how people would describe this game. They're like, yeah, man, it's got, like, the loot of, like, Neo and Diablo, and you're crossing it with, like, you know, the boss battles of Dark Souls, and, you know, and then you got the social aspects. It's kind of like, you know, team up and take your group out like Borderlands and that sort of thing. It's like, okay, all of these things are checking all of my boxes. And yet, when you play it, it's not fun at all. And somehow, like, all of its UX design is like PS2 era
Yeah.
design. Like, I talked to Greencapped about it, and my analogy was it's like a casino. If you go to a casino on your own, you're gonna walk in the door and be like, what do I do? You can't, you know, you're going to walk up to a blackjack table and you're going to try and put $50 down on the table.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, no, you need to go buy chips. You can't be here. You have to go there. And then
Don't put the money here because that's a bet. Put it over here
Yeah.
because you're changing it
and
in.
then you're going to, okay, you do that and you come back with chips. And then like, you're going to split kings. And the guy next to you is going to like want to start a fight with you because you're an idiot. And you're going to be like, oh shit, I don't know how to play blackjack. And so you have to go. And then you're like, maybe
I played 21 with my grandma.
Yeah, and then like you'll go over to roulette, and it's like, all right, there's the spinning ball. That looks cool. I don't know how this game works, and that was the experience for me. Was just going around going, I don't know what any of this is. Whereas if you had gone with a friend, your friend would be like, all right, we're going here, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and this is how you do this, and like you have to have a friend show you what the fuck anything means in this game.
I think it's more like wandering up to a craps table. That's how confusing it is.
Yeah.
Because craps is the most confusing game in a casino.
Oh yeah.
You roll the
Which
dice,
really
and
isn't.
then you
It's
either-
not, but like
it's not.
But
But if
placing
you
the
walk
bets.
up to it, and that's how like.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like everyone who's played Monster Hunter is like, oh man, they made this so much easier. You know, like you know, it's like the guy that's like, man, the ATM you used to have to go around the block to get cash, and you know, it's like now the ATM's right here. It's so much easier. You know, it's like, sure, whatever, guy. I don't know what I'm doing still. And Greencap kind of explained it where it's almost more like going to a theme park now, where okay, there's the fast pass, and you have to maximize your use of the fast pass, and okay, you're going to want to book it for this ride and this ride and this ride, and you're going to want to go straight back to Space Mountain because that's the one where the lines are all going to form quickest. So you want to get to that one first, and then come back, and then do the Seven Dwarfs, and just like it's the same thing. Like people and if you were to describe Diablo 3 right now, Harlow, like okay, how do I deal with the blacksmith, and how do I do this, and how do I like. There's a lot of systems that, like, if you don't know them, you're like, this is impenetrable shit.
Right.
But now that we know them, we're like, we hop in Diablo 3 and we're like, all right, cool, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this, and we know what the hell we're doing. And that feels like everyone now, that's where the people who have stuck with Monster Hunter are, where they know everything. And people like me walk in and I'm just like, hey guys, where do I sell my shit?
I would say it's a lot like the SimCity games. Like, if you grew up with SimCity, like, by the time you got to this reboot one, you're like, this is a baby game now. Like, you don't do piping or electricity or anything. It just happens for you.
Yeah.
But like, if you played, like, SimCity 4, it was like, oh, this is complex. And, but, like, still, if you picked up the brand new SimCity game and you never played one, and you're like, what am I doing here? Like,
yeah. But it's just like, there are so many things. And then, like, when you realize that it's basically an MMO, but like with only 4 players on any particular mission, that's when it kind of makes more sense, because like you have to go to the board and you have to post a quest, which is not like create a quest or join a quest or whatever. It's post a quest. And you're like, okay, that kind of like it feels like so many things are backwards. And join a quest, you think, all right, I want to join a quest. Yeah, sure, I want to go on a quest. And it's like, all right, well, now you have to search for someone else's quest. And that was broken at launch, which didn't help matters any. But once you get into all of it, it's kind of like, all right, now you're hunting this monster and you're tracking it down, and every fight is like 4 stages where it's like, all right, I beat him up, and then he ran away from this area, and now he's in the other area, and now I beat him up, and he ran away from that area, and now he's in the other area, and oh no, he knocked me out, I fainted, and now I only have 2 more chances to faint before I can take him out. And then you get to the end, you finally get to the last point, and a weird thing happens where the monster will just be kind of like limping away and trying to just get away from you and then everything becomes self-defense on his part, and you feel kind of bad killing him. Like, I will say this, like, their animations for the monsters, like, and the design of the monsters is really cool. Like, they've done a great job with that stuff. However, it's just, everything else is off-putting. And I haven't even gotten to the fact that you're a silent protagonist. So everybody else is chatterboxing away around you, and you're just fucking grinning and nodding at them like the village fucking idiot every cutscene. And like, haven't we moved past that?
No, Capcom hasn't.
It's like, it gets to the point where it's just like, what are you guys, like, what are you thinking? Like, who wants design like this, where your guy's just like, just nodding, like, and they give you what, like, you pointed this out, Harlow, there's like 8 voices.
Oh, no.
They give you?
No, there's like 24 male and 24 female voices.
And they're all grunts.
Yeah. Like, you like, when you're creating your character, you basically are like, well, which sex noises do I want for this character?
Yeah.
Because it's all just, I'm like, the fuck? I was like,
Why would you spend the money on a voice actor to record probably half of those?
I don't think they
And
spent
with-
any money. I think they just got randos out of their
You're still going
programming team.
You're still going to spend money. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to spend money to have somebody record.
what they probably did, they had the other voice actors come in and do the grunts, just in addition to, because there are voiced characters.
Yeah.
All the other
Everybody
characters
else
are voiced.
talks. Like,
Yeah.
Nolan North is one of the voices. Like, however, they didn't redo any of the lip sync from the Japanese version, so they just left the Japanese version. So it, again, everything is off-putting and weird and PS2-ish about it. It's just,
yep.
it's one of those games where, just like trying an MMO, you have to have a friend who's already playing it and is like, all right, I will Sherpa you through this and show you what to do. But it can also be off-putting because they're just like, all right, it feels like they're doing everything for you.
Yeah.
Feels like, all right, now we're going to fight this, but when it gets down to a certain level, don't hit it anymore because we're going to catch it. And I have to, it might not, the first trap might not take, and we have to use another trap. And I don't know if I don't know if I need that in my life, because trying to play it last night, I tried again, and I was just like, I'm just going to do some of this shit. And I hunted this thing, and it's something where it's got like bones all over it, and eventually you're knocking all the bones off, but it does like this rolling spin move at you. But then sometimes it hits you and it pins you in a corner, and there's no way you can rotate the camera where you can see anything except this thing rolling over you and pinning you to the wall. And eventually, you knock all its bones off, and then it runs back to its lair, and it starts rolling around on the ground, picking up bones on the ground and reboning itself. So, and then it comes back, and then eventually you get to a point where you're like, all right, I think I killed it. And then it's like, oh, it's about to flee the area. And yeah, it runs away. It burrows into the ground, and it's gone. And then when it comes back, it's at full health again.
Full bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like a 45-minute sequence of me doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Nah, I think I'm good. Because, I mean, the combat just isn't fun in the way, and I know there's a lot of people, like, obviously, people who have over 100 hours in it, and it hasn't even been out a month, that they're getting what they want out of this, but
Sure.
it shows to me, like, how the grind of a game has to hook you. Just like, I think about Mad Max, and Chuck, you're like, man, this is boring, this is the same shit, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was just like, I could do this for a month straight.
Yeah.
And not get bored of it. And I think there's something about that, like where certain games, that loop, that grind, whatever it is, something about it catches you, and you're like, oh, yes.
It's like
yes.
the Dragon Age games speak to me and don't speak to any of y'all. But
Yeah.
it's just like, give me a Dragon Age game, and I will just inhale all of its bullshit. Like, I will spend 120 hours doing all of its bullshit.
Yeah, because, I mean, you could reduce all games down to hit the button and a thing happens.
Right.
And it's like, sure, I could get reductive about that, but there's something about the loop in Monster Hunter that should, like, on paper, literally everything about it should be like, all right, I'll see you guys next year. I'm not playing anything else anymore. And yet every time I try and play it, I'm like, man, this thing can kind of fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I've had people explain to me all of the, like, because I didn't even get into the quest structure and, like, how you can't stack certain things. And, like, all right, this one's an investigation, and you can't stack it with this other, with a story quest. And, even though they are literally the same objectives, there's just a lot of bullshit like that, man, more power to the people that can, like, push their way through it, but I am not one of those people.
Yeah.
You do have cute cat things that follow you.
Yeah, and Palico is such a good, like, portmanteau of whatever these things are, and they're always calling you Meowster, and they make, like, meow-related puns whenever
there's
you
lots
talk
of
to
cat
them.
puns.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's really great. Like, and that's the thing, is, like, the atmosphere of that, sure, it's like, I think, it's kind of anime bullshit-ish, but bullshit-ish, yeah. But
I'll allow it.
Just took me a minute to get my brain through that.
yeah, but I'm okay with it. Like, there's something charming about that stuff. Like, man, when they make a meal for you in the canteen, I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing. I'm like, and like when both of you guys played it, I'm like, please tell me you at least bought a meal at the canteen before you got rid of the game.
I did.
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, you missed something.
You need it.
I mean, just go watch the video.
I'll watch
And
a
it
video.
changes as you level things up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they add things to it, but, just like the pride the little cat chef takes in putting the piece of rosemary on top of the turkey, and just,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Let me just say why this game is not for me. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, because I technically quit before even hunting a monster. I was just like, I'm out. But when I started this game, I felt exactly the same way I did when BJ tried to rope me into whatever that online Final Fantasy thing is that he was playing for like 3 weeks. Because you were like, it's great, get in here. And I was like, okay. And I got in, and it was just like, this is bullshit. So,
Man, I burn out faster than I thought on that.
Monster Hunter does this thing where it gives you this pointless action scene at the beginning of the game that is unlike anything else that
Yeah.
the game has to offer.
And all you do is run forward.
Yeah. And then it literally just vomits systems at you. It's like you run through this town, and it's like, here's where you'll do this, and here's where you should watch videos of what armor to wear, and here's where you can look at gems for your swords, and it just like, my eyes went cross, and I was just like, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah, there's a way to do walls of text
Yeah.
that will teach somebody something.
Yeah.
That sure shit isn't the way.
Yeah. And like, so being a silent protagonist, like, instantly turned me off. That was just like, this is terrible. I had made a cool, like, grizzled old man hunter character, and you're immediately paired up with a child, and I was like, well, this is fucking gross. And then it does the thing where it's like, oh, look at this world of fully voiced characters, and then you get to when you're like getting missions, and it's just like the person just goes, hey, and then it's just scrolling text, and you hit
Yeah.
A, and it's just like, hey, and then it's just a bunch of scrolling text. You're like, fucking hell.
Oh, my favorite is when you're out, like, on an expedition, and she goes, and Jen watched me play some of it for a while, and she'll go, "Nothing can stop us," and we're both like, "I'm on the wheel, on the wheel." We could not help doing that. Literally every time she would say that, and that would be her little bark in the corner when it had a little text box of whatever the fuck it was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like you go and meet the main dude, and he's like, "Hey, welcome to Monster Planet." And we learned a lot about killing monsters over time. We're not just killing them to kill them anymore. We're learning stuff about them. Now get out there and kill some monsters.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And I was just like, nah, I don't want to.
We decided that shark fin soup is that's just not cool anymore, but it's fucking delicious, so get out there and get some.
Yeah, it's real bad. We shouldn't have landed on this planet to murder everything, but good luck murdering everything. We'll see you around. Don't forget to get your +2 sword nuts or whatever the fuck it is.
Ooh, sword nuts.
I've been looking for a way to display my masculinity on my giant sword.
Yeah,
Maybe
Put-
nuts.
Hang some nuts on
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of depth there. I don't feel like finding it like anymore. Like I'm really, it's going to take a lot for someone to push me into doing that.
Yeah.
I almost feel like watching The Master again. Like I could probably do that at some point, but I just don't feel like it.
It's easier than this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it's a thing that exists for, especially for people who have played Monster Hunter since the beginning, who are just getting a finally like nice looking version
Yeah,
of their
not a
dumb
PSP
bullshit
version.
Yeah, but it's like on a modern system at the height of when everyone else is playing video games. So, but yeah, I just,
Yep.
No.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of systems that just were like, no. I mean, like I said, I'm sorry. Like I'll just be honest. I'm probably the person here who's dabbled the most in anime, and I still like just that whole aesthetic. If it's not something that is going to click with me in some way, shape, or form, it's just an immediate no. Like when you have cutesy, little kid. Are they kids? Are they grown-ups? Are they, like there's just that whole like disconnect of like.
Yeah, and it's also story-wise, like
You know what I mean?
there isn't shit to latch on to.
Yeah,
because
that's-
I've opened quite a few areas now, and it's just like, all right, the first fleet went here, and it's like, all right, I'm at the first fleet, and they're boring.
Yeah.
Just like the third fleet was boring.
And I'm not like trying to shit on anime stuff per se. It's just I've hit a point where it's like, look, it's foreign enough to me that I don't even want to try to understand what this means. Like I don't need to understand. I can go play other things that are going to instantly appeal to me more.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. there was just a ton of things to turn me off from the game, and then when I got into the, as you said, the UX of it all, it was just like, oh no, hell no, fuck no. Like when I saw the quest system, it was like, it's timed, and then I heard, I saw things that were like, the time doesn't really matter. You're never going to butt up against that. And I'm like, yeah, but still, it's.
Yeah, and you
it's
can't
there.
pause it, by the way.
Yeah, it's like it's still there, and fuck it all. Like I just like I got out to like my first quest, and I kind of had the same thing where it's like, I'm actually think I'm going to beat this, and it ran away or I died somehow, and it was like start all over, and I was like, nah, fuck you. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, I guess it feels like a game that wastes my time, and that's the biggest part of it. Is I feel like Dark Souls is probably the closest component to, as far as like, all right, I'm beating up this giant thing and I'm trying to get a weapon out of it, and in that one I feel like when I fail I learn something from failing and I can get right back to it. Whereas this one, not only do I not learn anything from failing, getting back to where I was takes fucking forever. And I think that's the biggest, like, nope.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but I'm glad that there are people who are getting what they want out of it. It's just that loop does not work for me.
Yeah.
Even though it should.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty. I can say that. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I said, it's like looking at the game, like minus like all of the user experience things.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It's very pretty.
watching someone play it, it looks kind of cool, and I like the scale of the monsters and things like that. But
Yeah.
The character animations are real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. The monster animations are great.
I wanted to get to the point where I had the grappling hooker thing because that looked cool. That stuff.
I was
But-
watching somebody
you
swing
have it.
around a.
Do you have it right off the bat?
Yeah.
I
But there's
I
only
guess-
certain
Wait,
point-
I'm going back.
I
Yeah,
know. I
there's
guess
only
it's just
certain
never
points
taught
you
me
can
about
use
that.
it. Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff it just doesn't tell you.
Okay.
You just have to end
No.
up in that situation.
Fair.
Yeah. It's
I
Yeah.
mean, it's literally there from the first time they send you out.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
First time they send you out with a weapon, not the
Yeah.
bullshit where you're just running around, running away from monsters.
Right. Yeah, after they go to the, as he said, the information dump that is the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Right. Speaking of Japanese games that are finally getting their due,
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a Yakuza-sans
We are.
era of like, hey, suddenly, there's a lot of Yakuza games over the years. Maybe you guys would like to play modern ones, and American audiences are suddenly like, yeah, we totally would. Give us those Yakuza games. They're neat.
Man, Yakuza
Give
Zero.
them the
like,
Yakuza.
I know so many people that played Yakuza Zero last
Yeah.
year and had not played a Yakuza game at all up to that point.
I've started playing Yakuza 0.
Yeah?
And this is the first time I've ever touched a Yakuza game. Hey, it's so it's okay. This is a PS4 exclusive game. It's a very nice looking game. It kind of moves like a last gen game. It's kind of got that. I would almost say it feels like a Dreamcast game. It's got that weird
Yeah.
kind of
Shenmue, maybe?
Yeah, it does feel a lot like Shenmue. So here's the thing. I like Yakuza 0. I'm enjoying my time with Yakuza 0. It is extremely story driven. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is long cutscenes. And they vary in quality. It's very strange because they will be like fully rendered acted cutscenes, and then they'll cut to a scene within that same scene where two characters have stopped moving, like they're just sitting at a table or in a car or something,
Yeah.
and they've decided they're not going to animate their mouths.
So it almost feels like the pre-rendered cutscenes versus in-engine cutscenes type thing.
So it's like, okay, no character movement is needed here. We're not going to animate shit. We're just going to cut back and forth between the characters, and it's still voice acted. And then there will just be straight up character walks in and just stares at another person and text on screen. So it's got that weird kind of disconnect. But I hate to say I wanted this to be like Sleeping Dogs, but I wanted it to be like Sleeping Dogs. I wanted to just...
That sounds so weird when people say the right name now.
I know. I struggled to not say the wrong name when I first said it. The first like chapter and a half anyway, which is as far as I've gotten so far, there's very little gameplay. It's all like world building and character interacting. So it's like, do I get at some point just get to cut loose and do a bunch of crazy
Go
shit?
around the world.
Yeah,
Thing.
but it's like the map seems small, and you're very limited to the places you can go in and out of for a while. Like you go in a bunch of restaurants and sample their dumb food, and
Yeah.
like you can go into arcades and play claw machines and Space Harrier and and all this. It takes place. It takes place in the
So
80s.
it's Shenmue.
Yeah. But it takes place in the 80s, and everything's all neon and brightly lit and looks fucking rad, and it's just like the aesthetic is fucking amazing. It's just where I'm at now, it seems like there just hasn't been a lot to do. Now, the last thing I did before not playing any more of it because we had to come podcast was... So this game has a sense of humor, and it's strange. I mean, it's a weird game. Like the last mission I was on before podcasting was you have to break up a used panty mafia ring. Like there's this,
Like you do.
There's this high school girl bully who has bullied all the other girls into selling their panties around town, and you find one girl who doesn't want to be doing it, and she tells you who the head girl is, but you only have a vague description, so you're running around town like trying to figure out, is this girl in a sailor outfit the head of the used panty mafia? And then you kind of have to bully her into stop doing it.
Japan, man.
It's fucking weird, but your dude is just like, you shouldn't be doing this. No one wants, you should not be encouraging this. Just don't do this. And she's like, we're making money, and he's like, yeah, but don't do it. And then like one dude comes running up out of nowhere and just like, I bought all your panties, I love you, you're gonna be mine, and if you're not, I'm gonna murder you. And you beat the fuck out of that guy. And then she's like, oh god, you're right, these people are crazy who are buying our used panties. I'm not gonna do this anymore, thank you, sir. It's like, well, this is the strangest mission I think I've ever done in a video
That took
game.
several turns along the way.
Yes. It's a strange, weird thing, but you kind of brush it off. Like your character's just like, yeah, well, another day in Japan. So it's
As you do.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's unique. I'll say that. It's entirely in Japanese, with subtitles. There's no
Oh, really?
English language option, so
Okay.
you have to pay attention. It's extremely well acted. Like, everyone is so fucking intense, like really angry all the time, and it's great. And there's a particular bit where you have to do some revenging, and you want to do the revenging. You're just like, man, come at me, you loud ass motherfucker. I'm gonna wreck you.
Yeah.
The combat is kind of weird, but like when you get it into a flow, it's like, man, I'm wrecking dudes, because there are all these like street toughs running up to you, like the idiots in the Batman games. Like, I'm gonna be the one to wreck this guy, and you're
I'm
just
gonna
like,
take on the bat.
yeah, and you're just like, no, you dumb idiot, I'm gonna break your neck. I'm not gonna kill you, because that would be so.
Well, I don't know. It's a
40
Yakuza
beats
game,
per
not
minute.
Right.
a Batman game. You can kill people in the Yakuza.
I haven't. Like, all the people you beat up, they just kind of keel over and go, sorry, sir. Shouldn't have bothered you.
Well, that's somewhat a shame. Also awesome.
Yeah. But it seems like it's opening up. There's a bunch of weird stuff to do. There's like fight clubs popping up all over the place, and many restaurants to sample wares. And I just became the manager of some band.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
They're
Yeah,
like
cool,
they're a punk band, but they're all nerds and they don't know how to be punks. So you're giving them advice on how to, so that the punks in the audience don't murder them.
You could have just started the nerdcore movement in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. So it's unique. I'm interested to play more of it. So
I
will
picked
do
up
that.
Kiwami.
Yeah,
I might have gone the wrong direction, because it sounds like maybe Yakuza 0 might be the place to have started.
I informally asked Twitter, like, hey, where do you start with this? Because, that one is the remake of the first
of one,
game.
yeah.
But everyone was like, you should probably play 0 because they've kind of redone the combat.
Well, I got it for like $10. I haven't started it yet,
Yeah.
but I got it for like $10. So
Everyone's kind of like, yeah, play Yakuza 0 first. Even though it's a prequel, it's still the systems you'll get a better handle on. So
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll see.
and like Yakuza 6 is out here soon, and I think there's a Yakuza 2 remake coming. So it's Yakuza City.
Man, it's Yakuza everywhere.
Yeah, everyone loves it. So yeah, that's a slightly better long-running Japanese game that seems to be popular.
So you're
going
gonna
to
keep with it.
Yeah, I'm going to play more of it.
All right.
So.
Well, I look forward to hearing more.
So you're going to play through it, huh?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
That's a good seg.
God damn it.
Speaking of playing through,
There we go.
yeah,
Got him.
I picked up the golf club too.
It's time to move forward.
Word, yeah. Oh man, golf corner, little impromptu golf corner here. I picked up the golf club too. My friend Knobs at TVGP was like, "You need to play fucking golf club too," and I was like, "All right, I got it for sale, so I'm gonna play some golf club too." Which, speaking of bad UX designs, this one is bad as far as like the menus, like just knowing how to get to anything, like and going to anyone's tournaments that they've created or any of that shit is like baffling.
Is this a realistic-ish golf game?
Yes.
Or is it like a robot golf?
No, it's a realistic one, but it's not real courses. It's like there's some that come with the game, and then a bunch of the other ones are like user created.
Okay.
Oh.
So, you can have ones that are in the desert and just dumb shit, but generally speaking, you're only going to find, like, I've only played on what I assume are the official ones, or at least people making real looking golf courses
Okay.
in it. Yeah, and it's one of those, like, pull the right stick back, push the right stick forward, get your rhythm right golf games, which I'm pretty good at that. And I'm decent at this, except for putting, which putting, I'm shit. But
Every golf game, putting is shit.
yeah, I don't know why putting is always shit. But yeah, it's bad. Because it's like, you've either got a 20-foot putt that you blast by 30 yards, or, you got the 4-foot putt that it's just like, oh, you didn't hit that hard enough. Or then you hit it, and it's like, oh, now you got a 10-foot putt. So deal with that, asshole.
Yeah, you're always
But,
happy Gilmore in every
Man,
golf game.
I
Just
this is like one of those, like, I don't know if it's independently developed or what it is, but man, the narration is so low key. I fucking love it, because it's just like a dude's like, all right, looks like that was a decent drive. Like and like literally, you could have just cut out the way I just said that, and that's what it sounds like in the game. Like, it's not exaggerating. It's just like your Canadian friends, like, hey, good hit.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like an official, but it just, there's something about it where it's just like they got like a podcast dude to just narrate golf stuff
Well, they could have paid
form.
me to do it.
I know. No, you would have sounded too like real voice. You know, like announcer voice.
Well, I could have. I could be like, "Wow, that was a good hit."
Yeah.
Huh.
But there's something about it that I just that always tickles me whenever this guy says anything, because he's just like, "Hey man, that was a nice putt. Hey, wow, you could have done better on that drive."
That's why I said, "Hey man, nice shot."
Yeah,
I have two questions for you about this game.
of course.
One, can you put on clothes that give you extra power?
No,
Boo.
I believe all clothes are cosmetic.
Boo.
99% sure all
Fuck
clothes are
that
cosmetic.
game. Flip, table flip.
You can customize your iron, like you can use like beginner clubs, you can use intermediate clubs,
Okay.
you can use professional clubs, which it's basically like the margin of error on them is
Fucking
but the
heyday.
distance on the professional clubs is like you can fucking crank it.
Well, okay. The heyday of golf games, man. You put on this fucking Nike shirt, and
No.
all of a sudden you have 100 extra feet in every
The heyday
power
of golf
drive.
games is Tiger Through Time. Like that
Well,
is the
yeah.
pinnacle of golf is Tiger Through Time.
Yes.
That's just
2005.
that's just a given. And why that has not come back in any form.
Well,
like why
he
hasn't
had some
somebody
troubles.
Okay, fine. But take that
Jack
concept.
Nicklaus through time. Somebody.
Yeah.
Take that fucking concept and just make that your entire golf game.
You can Rory McIlroy through time.
You
Yeah,
could,
there
yeah.
you go.
McIlroy through time.
EA doesn't make games anymore.
Fine.
That's the problem with it.
Guess what? Other people can make golf games,
They do.
and they're not let you unless EA bought all the courses, which they probably did. They're like, you can't have the Masters in your game.
I
and
think
you
they have
can't-
the exclusive license.
all
yeah.
that. Ugh.
I know.
Maybe it's that. I don't know, but just make Tiger Through Time. Just give it a new name, and
Yeah.
make that your fucking game.
Yeah.
And guess what? I am guarantee all of us would play it.
PGA Tour 2005 remaster starring Mr. Dream.
Yes. Put Mr. Dream in there instead of...
yeah.
The replacement Mike Tyson from when they took Mike Tyson out of the
okay,
Punch
okay.
Out.
Yeah.
My second question is this.
Okay.
What are you playing Golf Club 2 on?
Xbox One.
Okay, that's where I own the Golf Club 2. So
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna,
do?
I'm going to try it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there multiplayer in the golf club too?
There are tournaments you can join that are player created.
you-
So like Knobs kept making them, but he kept putting them on like really hard courses, and he's really good. So it would be like, hey, he's 5 under after 3 rounds, and I'd be like, I'm 42 over after 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's-
so
yeah.
so it's like,
Do you
why
have
am I joining your tournament, dude?
Do you have them like? I assume they're not live. You just like play through the course and okay.
Yeah. But it will keep obviously, if you were playing at the same time, it would keep track of your stats. But I don't believe that you can. No, actually, I think you can do alternating ball, like if you were to join a session. But
Okay.
I know for sure, like it's the asymmetrical thing where, okay, I finished my round, because like it runs like a 7-day, 5-round
Okay,
tournament.
yeah.
So you could conceivably sit there and do, whatever it is, however 90 holes in a row to finish all 5 of your tournaments. But you're gonna get worn
Might be a
out.
little sore,
You're
yeah.
gonna get worn out by the end of
90 holes in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's rough.
The same time?
yeah. You're gonna need some muscle milk by the end of it.
Right.
But,
Right.
But yeah,
You need
it's,
somebody to shag your balls.
you know what? For $20, that game was all right.
It sounds pretty all right for $20.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was easier to navigate and find people's tournaments, and you do have to have in-game credit in order to join somebody's like clubhouse. So certain ones are it's like, oh, you need $200 in-game dollars.
How
so
do you get those?
you finish the tutorial basically.
okay.
But it's not.
That's
it's like you have enough to join maybe 2 or 3 of them. It's not like here you have all the credit. It's like you can't just join every fucking clubhouse. So I think it's kind of like one of those artificial gatekeeper things as far as like so people don't just join all of them and spam all of them or some shit. It kind of keeps you from trolling, I guess. If there was a way
yeah.
to troll in the game, but maybe fill up everyone else's tournament and then
Golf backwards.
I haven't tried it yet. I've thought about it, but
Flog?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, when you do play, you're usually playing a ghost of one of your other friends who's on that course. So,
Okay.
and it'll tell you like, oh, he outdrove you on this one, or that sort of stuff.
It's
So
nice that they include a ghost.
Yeah, but it's a low key golf game, and it takes only like maybe half an hour to get through 18 holes if you're really not listening to the guy narrate. But you should probably listen to the guy narrate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I played a golf game as well.
Oh, what? Welcome to the links, friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Would you like to play?
Did you have some hot links?
Yeah. You have the honors this time.
Thank you.
So tell us. about your golf experience.
There is a little game out there. It's in early access, but it's called Golf with Your Friends. Its subtitle is not Kamikaze Mini Golf, despite what I put on the document. But it is kind of a Kamikaze Mini Golf experience. It is. It's a game that is mini golf. That is, the courses are all sort of fantastical in some way. It's almost like the Pinball FX of golf games, of mini golf games, I guess, or of mini golf.
Okay.
Because I don't know if there are any other mini golf games, but it's got. I think they have 8 theme courses right now. So there's like a Egyptian themed one. There's a Candyland style one. There's a tropical one. You know, a bunch of shit like that. And you can play single player if you want. If you want the solo putt experience.
Yeah.
Or you can golf with your friends, which is sort of the whole point of it. And the brilliant thing about golf with your friends is that everybody goes at once. So instead of like taking turns or anything, it's just as many people. I think there are a maximum of 8. Now that I think about it, yeah, I think there are a maximum of 8. So at any given time, there are 8 little golf balls just banging off all these dumb
and they
clown
ricochet
mouths.
off each other.
If you choose to allow it, you can turn on ricochet or you can turn it off. But as long as you're not playing with some people who are like honest to goodness fucking antagonists, then turning on ricochet is fun because it leads to some wacky stuff. I've played a few rounds of it with some friends online, and it is, even though it's early access, everything works really well, and you know, there's no like, it's easy to run, it's quick to load, the online component, like, there's not a huge amount of lag. You know, for a kind of small game that's kind of cheap and fairly cheesy, it's a lot of fun. I think it was like $12.99 when I bought it, so
That's not bad.
no, it's pretty cheap, and they keep updating it. You can obviously choose the color of your ball. You can unlock trails, and you can also unlock hats for your ball, which is the dumbest thing in the world.
Ball
But
hats.
What? Ball hats. Hats for your balls.
I've heard of hats for bats, but
Right.
never
Well,
hats for balls.
Now they're hats for balls. Adorn your ball with a jester cap.
Don't I?
Right.
Yeah.
You just play through some of the single player content, which is play the courses to unlock hats for your balls. There are also some things that I noticed the last time I loaded up the game, which is they have added some weird modes. So they have like a basketball mode and a hockey mode, where you have like a hockey mode, you have a goal instead of a cup, and basketball mode, you have a hoop instead of a cup. And they have a bunch of physics tweaks that you can do in custom games. So you can do some wacky shit, have giant golf balls, or tiny golf balls, I assume. But it's a whole lot of fun. It's a weird little thing that I kind of stumbled into accidentally, and it's tons of fun. So if you like that sort of thing, buy it.
Yeah.
And then hop in the Discord and say, hey, BJ, I want to play golf with your friends with you. And I will play with you, maybe.
It appears to be
If
inexpensive.
you're friends with them,
Right.
you'll
Right.
golf with them.
Yeah.
I will play golf with anybody on the Discord.
There you
Bold
go.
words.
There you go. Yeah.
Bold words.
I'll stand by them until I find a way to weasel my way out.
Cool.
So
Well,
Speaking of weaseling your way out,
You know, once upon a time, I talked about a game, and I'm going to talk about it again briefly. Dungeons 3 has some DLC out there, and I purchased it because
3LC.
I'm pretty much on that, like, you know, here I'm in the tip jar area of that game now, because I didn't pay a whole lot for it to begin with. It's called Once Upon a Time.
Aw.
And I've played that game a lot, and right off the bat, this DLC was kicking my ass. It's just 3 new missions, and I couldn't even get past the first one. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know if I just suck now, or if it just, like, they were like, hey, it's...
Did they scale it like way
yeah,
past your level?
It just seems like in the past, you know, you had some time to do some base building, and now it's just like, people are coming, and if you don't go and do this immediately when you barely have enough dudes, they're going to come at you and they're going to be powered up, because this is all about, like, there's the good fairy godmother out there, and you're like, oh, well, she sucks, we have to kill her, because that's the theme of the game, is you're evil and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they straight up steal, like, you're playing in, like, far away land or whatever, like, and they basically are like, isn't that from something? And they're like, yeah, it's from that Shork or whatever that was. They're making like Shrek references or whatever. Like, yeah, we didn't have any money to come up with anything better. So, I mean, so they kind of continue. They're like poking fun of, like, yeah, if we kind of making fun of their, like, indie-ness and the fact that they're just straight up stealing jokes and whatnot. But yeah, I wish I could talk about it more, because I can't even seem to get past this first level. But like I said, I think it was $4. So I was like, here's some more money.
That's not bad for DLC.
Can't complain about that.
I kind of dip back into that habit, and I've been trying to kick it. I've been trying to kick the Dungeons 3 habit. So my methadone for that is I picked up Sims 4. And I know that might sound like Sims 4. What the fuck? How does that Dungeons? What?
Yeah,
and I look at it like this.
It's one higher.
It is. It's one higher. It goes to 11. If you think about it,
the math checks out.
Yeah, Dungeons 3 and Sims actually kind of have a lot in common, in that it's building stuff and then sort of controlling somebody, but more like suggesting you go do this. You're not like direct controlling these people. So I was like, Sims 4 is probably not going to hold my interest forever, but it might get me out of this building / like lack of direct control thing. I don't know, man. I mean, Sims is Sims. Sims has always been Sims.
It's still Sims.
You're either kind of in or you're kind of out. I guess thankfully for me, Sims has always been a thing where it's like, I don't give a fuck about all the packs of DLC. I just don't care. Like, there is more than enough in the base game to occupy me in the time before I will get sick of the game. I'm thankful for EA, I guess, making bundles of money, and I'm thankful that people that are super into Sims can buy these DLC things for 3 years until the next major one comes out, and keep them going. That's great if that's like your thing. And I know a lot of people are totally all about that. Like, they play Sims until the next one comes out and they start all over. And there's 18 expansion packs that are kind of overpriced for what they are. And then people come to them later and like, hey, I bought a super pack that all of them for like $20. So, but it's on consoles, and it was on sale, and I was like, you know what, I'll pick it up on the Xbox. This might just be my way out of Dungeons 3. The thing about Sims is, like, there's still shit in that's really funny to me. Like, I mean, it's all just kind of dumb, grindy shit that you do in those games. I mean, it's like you kind of pick a trajectory. Like, I'm gonna make a character, and I'm either gonna role play a power fantasy of some sort, or I'm going to, like, focus on doing the best of my job or making them happy with their little whims or whatever they call them, like things that they want to do that make them happy, like, because it's gotten more advanced than it has, obviously, over the years. But, like, little shit just still cracks me up. Like, when you're doing basic tasks that you have to do to survive, like learning to cook so that you don't just burn shit and set everything on fire because you suck at it. It's hilarious to me, like, the little animations that they give people if you zoom in. Like, your dude will be just sitting there, like, making a tossed salad, and like, and how it's like, how do you fuck this up? And so, like, when you suck at cooking, he'll just be like, and tossing the salad, and then like start picking his ear, and like, and then just go like, ugh, and then like put his hands right back in the salad. It's like that's your indication that he sucks at cooking, because like
it's a good indication.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm just saying, like, it's funny.
I
shit.
would not eat that salad.
It's funny shit like that it's like that's their indication that you suck at cooking, that you don't know not to don't pick your nose, but picking your ears pretty much is gross, and putting your hands right back in the salad. But it's little shit is funny to me like that. Like when you suck it and you're just like making macaroni and cheese, it's like you're sitting there with the salt and pepper shaker and there's like whoop, and you drop the salt shaker into the macaroni and cheese. Like, oh no. So I don't know why. It's dumb. It's a lot of it's like the kind of like thing where it's like, is this a job? Like, I mean, this kind of almost feels like a job where I'm trying to keep this
babysitting these idiots.
I'm babysitting this idiot, and then like sending him off to a job and making him happy every day before he goes to the job so that he does better at the job. It's like there's
The sim is me.
yeah, there's things about it that are like not.
This hits too close to
Yeah.
home.
But the sandbox
Precisely why I don't have children.
the sandbox aspect of it can still be fun. I mean, like you can have power fantasies, like I said, with these characters. Like I made a dude, and it was like, oh, career path, secret agent, okay. And I was like, I can give him like sexy charisma ladies man shit. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna make fucking James Bond the Sim. He's gonna get with every lady in town and go off and do secret mission agent. It's like whatever. That'll be fun. Then I'll make a bookish nerdy dude over here who's gonna cure cancer or some shit.
Yeah.
It's weird and then there's just people that are just sick and they're like how many Sims can I kill in what weird ways? So there's all kinds of dumb shit you can do. And I was like, my spy dude was getting old. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have him have a kid. Like he's gotta have a legacy. I'm gonna
settle down.
I'm gonna make Lance
Spy
Stargrove
babies.
here.
Spy kids.
I'm gonna have my Stargrove-y little kid. And then I pretty much I saved the game like before I clicked the let's have a kid.
Sure.
And I'm very glad I did because I was like, man, having kids in this game sucks just as much as having kids in real life, I think. So, I don't know. It's interesting to me, and like I said, it's this diversion of like maybe I can stop myself from playing Dungeons 3 by playing Sims because I know it's not going to hold my interest forever. And
Does it work on the console well, at least?
once you get used to the controls, like some of the controls are a little wonky. Like it wants to snap into like just kind of like arrowing through the menus, and then if you want like free mousing, which is actually better than it sounds, like you really just kind of want to like right stick mouse around the screen and do stuff. So like you just have to like hit B a few times, and it's like no, back out, and give me back mouse control. But it's one of those things. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, this is not good, and then like it clicked like the control scheme. The one thing I really do like is at any point in time you can click in the left stick and it brings up a what does every button do kind of overlay.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of cool how it comes up.
That works.
And it's like instantaneous and pops up over the screen. It's like, oh yeah, that does that. Okay. And figuring out little things like that the bumpers are for speeding down or speeding up and slowing down time. Like that's kind of important in Sims. Just I don't want to watch you sleep. Just I'm not a fucking sparkly vampire. So.
You can get the vampires expansion pack.
I could.
Though.
I almost it was on sale and I was going to buy the one expansion pack because it was like City Life, which actually is like one of the bigger expansions. Like it actually opens up different areas and like it's like a massive expansion, not just a cosmetic one.
Oh, does it give you the herbs?
I don't know. The herbs.
Yeah.
What?
That was like the weird
marijuanas.
No, there was a Sims
like a
spinoff
gardening
called
one?
The Herbs. It was like
Or like I thought you were talking about like human
urban
and stuff.
Oh, like the burbs.
Yeah, like
Herbs.
URBZ.
Yeah. Herbs.
I don't think that was a spin-off. I think that was a rip-off game.
No, I think that was.
Was it official Sims
I think
thing?
so. Yeah.
Off to Dr. Google.
I don't know.
Anyway, that was just a dumb joke.
Yeah, but hey, the Goths are still around.
Oh, good.
The Goths are still kicking. Belagoth is still floating around town.
Outstanding.
I don't know what that's like. The Sims, like there is always the Goths, and Belagoth is always a like all these names will be randomly generated, but
Yeah.
there will always be the Goth family. It's just a Sim thing from the way back.
Yeah. No, The Herbs Sims in the City is an EA joint featuring the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, all right. Is that a separate game or a
Yeah,
DLC?
it's a totally separate
well,
game. But that's what I was hoping. Like you go to the city and rediscover the herbs. They're just like hanging out there. Like, hey, missed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but it was like three of the bigger packs bundled together that Xbox had on sale, and I didn't end up pulling trigger. I don't think it's still on sale, but I don't know. Because City Life is like the only one that's like, yeah, okay, that's a major bit of content, not just like, now you got fancy going out clothes. Whoop-de-fucking do.
Yeah. That is usually my reaction to having fancy going out clothes.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's Sims 4.
So do you think that's going to keep you away from Dungeons 3 or what?
I the only reason I went back to it at all was I was like, oh, there's DLC. I'll give this a try, and I want to go beat those 3 levels just to be like done with Dungeons 3, but Dungeons 3. Dungeons 3. Yeah. But no, otherwise, yeah, it's kind of making me think less about just playing random skirmishes or whatever the hell they call it in Dungeons 3, which was what I was doing, just like, oh, I'll play a skirmish.
Yep.
No reason. So, speaking of skirmishes, so listener of the show and fellow games journalist, if you will, Ian.
No, don't say fellow. We are not games journalists.
No, we are not.
Okay, what are we, games commentators?
He is actually paid to write about video games.
Okay.
So.
We're pundits.
We are paid to pontificate about video games in a vocal fashion.
Fellow games journalist, professional games journalists. Are we? Well, we have a Patreon. Are we, I don't know.
Look for that.
Friend of the show.
Fellow professional gamesman.
He's a real
Game
boy.
journalist and friend of the show. Ian.
Yes. Fine. He was talking to me
The
because
cat's like, what the fuck?
he was trying to talk me into playing Sniper Ghost Warrior the Third.
Did it work?
Okay, so like, hold on, let's jump into the end of the story here. Come on, like reading the last page here. He was so emphatic that I play this game because, I will admit that this game did intrigue me because I like the Sniper Elite games to a certain extent, and this one is built on the Far Cry engine, so this kind of seemed like a good match because I very much love the Crytek engine.
Yeah.
Look, what's going on in that game, I want to like it a lot more than I do. My biggest issue is 100% technical. I futzed with the settings on that. And I should say I played on PC, so yeah, say what you will about PCs and customizing shit. I could not get that game to run where it didn't seem like it was skipping frames or something. Like I could turn it down to the lowest settings. I turned off everything, and it's not one of those that like GeForce experience where it was just like magic button, make it work for me. I just couldn't make the game run where it wasn't kind of making me nauseous, where it just seemed like something was stuttery or skipping frames, and I don't even know enough about graphics stuff to say, oh, well, it's doing this, and all I need to do is turn off tessellation. I don't know. I sat for a long time and said, please just make this work. I will play it in 720p. Just stop making it feel jittery. And I couldn't do it. But I really wanted like that game because it's like, it's very cool when you're doing the sniping stuff. Like you've got drones and it kind of like scratches that Ghost Recon itch of like, okay, plan this out. You know, it doesn't take terribly long like an old Ghost Recon game. But it's like, go out and scan and find all the dudes and like, all right, wait for this guy to get over here so you can take him out silently and the other guys won't see him. It's just very much that, and I very much like the mechanic of, okay, so if you're really playing a Sniper Elite game on like the realistic mode, you've got to account for wind and all this stuff, but it's really just like, well, this many yards out and the wind's blowing this hard. I just kind of have to guess about where this is going to go. This still has that, but you'll basically be looking down your scope and you'll have like a red dot that kind of just says, no, this is kind of where it's going to go based on wind and distance. So it's kind of easy. You know, it's like an easy button of like, yeah, all right, just follow the red dot, put it on the dude's head, and you know, squeeze the trigger.
Sure.
All that was like really cool, and it actually has like a neat open world Far Cry-esque, like, you know, you might want to go around this checkpoint unless you want to get in a fight kind of thing. It just, technically, I just couldn't make it not make me sick to look at, like, you know, just because it was doing that stuttery thing. Maybe the answer is a console
and your
thing.
Computer should not.
No,
Your computer should be able to handle that.
Yeah, I'm not like tooting my own horn, but I've got a good enough video card that I should be able to play this at least at 1080p, if not higher. You know, so it's like,
yeah, you can mine bitcoins.
Yeah, like totally can. It would be worthless. Yeah, I just it's a game. I've never wanted to like a game more that I just can't make run right, no matter what I do, and it makes me sad. So if somebody has a secret sauce formula for making that game work on the PC, you know, maybe
we'll get you an Xbox code.
It's probably what it's going to take, just putting it on the friggin' console.
Sorry.
Yeah, and he was even nice enough to, like, you know, gift me a copy. That's how adamant he was to, like, you need to play this game. So thank you, Ian. Because like I like games and I really want to like this game. I can't. And it all, like, for all I know, it could be like one of those things like, oh, you have an AMD processor? Fuck you. You know, it could be one of those kind of games. It's just like, nah, we didn't optimize for this, so whatever you do, it's going to be shitty.
You're not part of the secret game journalist cabal, so
That's probably true. But
you don't get a copy that runs.
yeah, it's cool as hell otherwise, though. Like, and it's like really in a charming, almost like Just Cause 2 way, like poorly voice acted.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah.
like just people being overly dramatic for no reason. So I don't know.
Is there slow motion X-ray death?
No, sadly no.
Oh, that's right. That's a different sniper.
Yeah, that's a
game.
Sniper Elites game. This was more just like those guys are completely inconsequential. Just watch them fall. You know, like it's just random dudes that are shitty.
So you do not get to kill Hitler.
No, this is all modern day drones and shit.
Okay.
Drones and shit and night vision.
All right.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff's all right.
You're winning me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think it'd be a game if I don't know. Maybe it's just a budget ass. It's got problems kind of game. And he warned me. He was like, "This is a budget ass. It has problems game." I didn't know they were going to be 100% like technical.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be like, this gets stupid from time to time, or it might lock up on you or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No segue, but I played Jurassic Park Pinball in Pinball FX3.
You kill Hitler in that?
No.
There you go. That's
No.
the segue.
Well,
Speaking of games you don't kill
you could
Hitler in.
like if you had a Hitler embryo, like you found a mosquito that bit
Yes,
Hitler.
the Hitler.
Yeah,
And then got encased.
yeah.
Oh, God, please don't
The
give
mosquito.
anyone an idea.
Mosquito Bitler. Yeah.
Well, I gotta go.
Anyway. Yeah, new pack they put out, 3 tables. One's Jurassic World themed, one's Jurassic Park themed, and one is kind of like, it's called, I believe it's called Jurassic Park Mayhem, where it's kind of set as if like after shit went wrong at Jurassic Park, and you were trying to contain everything, sort of thing. And they're all pretty good, but they're all missing the music. Even though they have a lot of the voice samples, or if they don't have the exact voice samples, they have someone who's really watched a lot of Jurassic Park and knows how to imitate those voice samples. But they do some fun stuff with the dinosaurs in that, which I really appreciate. There's like one where you hit the original Jurassic Park one, you hit the gate, and it opens up the gate, and then if you hit the ball up that ramp, I think it's 4 times, it pushes the Explorer, like starts on the left side, and it pushes it over to the right, and it's running along the electric fence, and eventually the T-Rex will come out, and it'll either knock it onto its side, and you have to escape like through a different way, or a Jeep will come up and it'll chase the Jeep, and the Jeep is on a belt, like oh God, what do you call it? A freaking running thing. Treadmill. Thank you. God, my brain today. Like they actually have the Jeep on a treadmill with the dinosaur chasing it, hovering above the table.
Nice.
And I was not able to get away, so I don't know what happens. But otherwise, the dinosaur will knock the Jeep off the end of the treadmill. But they're pretty solid. I had a good time with all 3 tables. At first, the Jurassic World one feels like one of those where like, okay, all the stuff on the top half is kind of segregated from what's on the bottom half, and you can't really get to it immediately. Or actually, no, it's Jurassic Park Mayhem that's like that. Oh. Jurassic World just has like a lot of ramps, and you're like, I'm not sure what I'm doing on any of them. So they're and as with most Pinball FX tables, it's like there are a whole lot of modes, and there are a whole lot of ways to activate them. But if you're not doing them right, you're just kind of left going, all right, I'm hitting ramps, and shit isn't happening.
Yeah.
And one of them, like Raptors, will come out, and they'll take the ball, and they'll chuck it. Like, you're supposed to be hitting certain things, but basically you can't let the ball get into either of the side lanes. So because if it comes down and is rolling towards the flipper, one of those Raptors is going to grab it, and you don't lose the ball, but it, that mode ends. So I'm, like, not sure how any of that works, but, the Pinball FX3 guys, I mean, I appreciate everything Zen Studios does in that, like, they've kind of got their own method for them that's not, they embrace the fact that it's like, we're not simulating real tables, and we're not doing real world shit on these. We've got a fucking Mosasaurus jumping out of a lake in the back corner of it as the ball gets levitated, brought past it on a magnet rail.
Yeah, physics are not the thing in these games.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of crazy bullshit.
Yeah, but at least none of those feel like, okay, well, this is a retread of this. Yeah. They none of them feel like that, which is nice. I just wish they had licensed the music because it's just generic ass, any music that you're going to hear on any of their tables.
Well, I mean,
otherwise,
Jurassic Park's like one of those things. Like, I mean, it's like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. You can't not have the music.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the music like come with the license?
How do you think?
How
do you fuck
the
that
Jaws
up?
table didn't have the music. The Back to the Future table didn't have the music. It's like Universal must be charging $1 million for music rights.
Well, like,
It's all stupid now.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It's all from that time period where like it's still in that era with like Quantum Leap, where it was like we made this show that the music is very important to, but however we didn't license the music for any other exhibition except for when it showed.
But that's like popular music, isn't it? Or is it the
yeah,
actual?
but
Or is it
still,
the,
I mean, it's like
see, that's a different thing. The music was written for those movies.
I know.
It's not like they're up just a
but
pop song.
They still copyright it in separate
Yeah,
from the movie,
it's its
and
own
so it's
thing.
like it can be attached to the movie, but maybe they can't attach it to other things.
But why would you even?
I mean, there are other Jurassic
Do
Park
it
games that have
if-
the Jurassic Park music. I don't know.
Why would you even like? Why would you do it if you can't have the music?
I don't know.
You almost wonder if like, it fell through at the last minute or something.
Yeah.
Like with so many of these.
that whatever that thing, Jurassic Park Builder or whatever, that damn well better have the music. I mean, like
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
I might wait for a review to find out.
Oh,
it has
Jurassic
music.
Park Tycoon.
Is that what it?
Whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, from the
When is that out? We've been talking
This
about that
summer.
forever.
2099.
Soon.
the movie comes out I think in
Oh, okay.
June, so it'll probably be right around then.
Okay.
Yeah, because all their videos are just like, this is a new dinosaur that's going to be in the park. There's like nothing that's ever. Yeah,
Dino DNA.
yeah, and Mr. DNA does talk to you a lot on the table. There's a lot of.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Though you also hear Hammond talking about Butterfingers a lot when you lose the ball, and you're like, "Shut the fuck up about Butterfingers, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
But he does give us spared no expense because you have to because Jurassic Park. Yeah, they were worth $10. I feel like I enjoyed them more than like I didn't really enjoy the Jaws table all that much. And the ET table, yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. Back to the Future was the best of those three tables on that pack, but this one I think all three tables are worth playing.
Okay.
So Harlow,
Yes,
you played a ridiculous amount of a certain game called FTL,
I did.
Faster Than Light.
I played a lot of hours of that.
I heard the people who made that made a new game.
They did indeed. Subset Games has a new game called Into the Breach.
Yeah.
It is not at all like FTL, which
Is that good?
Well, I mean, they just didn't want to make another thing that was like that because FTL is becoming one of those things where it's like it's an FTL like, there's Convoy and a bunch of other ones I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're making a new kind of game. It's gonna kind of It's funny because like a lot of the menu systems still look like FTL and the graphic style is FTL esque. But essentially, it's a turn-based mech game, and it works in the rogue light alike. I don't know. We've called that so many things now. I'm not sure what
Rogue Light,
Yeah.
maybe. Faster than Rogue Light.
Yes. So the way they work that into this one is you're basically you start the game and you're like in this future where like shit is totally wrecked. Like I think it's the Vex.
It's not
I think
the
it's
future,
is
that's
the
now.
like alien bug things that come out of the ground and fuck everything up. So like you start the game and it's like shit's done, you've lost everything, and they're like, we can go back in time, we can go into a breach and go back in time. So
Oh, I get it.
that's literally what you're doing is like you're going back in time, and so like when you fuck up and you lose all of your stuff, you basically start over again in like a new timeline. So that's how they get you to like keep playing and try again better this time. So it's kind of still got that FTL but or / rogue, start over, you fucked up, do it again.
Okay.
Aspect. I haven't played a ton of it, but like my time because it literally just released yesterday. And the interesting thing about it is it's a grid-based mech versus kind of alien bug things that come out of the ground, Starship Trooper style. What's interesting about it is like your turn is after theirs, and they tell you what they're going to do. Like they're saying, "I'm going to attack this building, and so come stop me in some way." And so not only can you like choose to attack, there are certain attacks that can like push them out of the way. So you can just like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to kill you, but I'm going to push you out of the way so that you can't damage this building, and I'll deal with you next turn. You can also like push them, like if there's a cliff or water, you can push them into that and like get an instant kill. So there's like kind of this mechanic of, just managing everything to survive for that turn and then plan for the next one at the same time. So it's kind of interesting in that way. It's like built, and it's also kind of different because a lot of these what like FTL is pretty much about like, oh shit, I got my people killed. That's really bad. This isn't really so much about your mechs and your people are kind of somewhat expendable. You like really need to protect the buildings and the civilians.
So it's almost like an RTS.
A little bit, yeah, but like I said,
But it's turn-based.
Yeah, grid-based turn thing. But like I said, unlike most of those where it's like you hit your turn and you hope you know what they're going to do. These very much tell you like, I'm going to move over here and I'm going to punch that building, so you better come stop me. So it's interesting, and like I said, I will definitely play more of it. It's just I didn't have a lot of time with it so far. Damn it! Fucking Whataburgers. I'm going to burp every sentence.
What a burper, am I right?
You are.
That is accurate.
Thanks.
Very precise.
Thanks.
So sadly, I could have played more Into the Breach, but I took some time out to play another thing. Mostly because like
We were sent a code for this.
we were sent codes for this, and apparently other people were too. And
Full disclosure, they sent fucking codes everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
they sent codes.
Yeah.
We're not special.
No, we're not special at all. They sent codes
We're
all over
probably
the
the
place.
last ones.
And apparently they straight up sent them to like people that like you really should have known better and not sent this person a code. Like
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with you?
They send one to like Brianna Wu or something.
Seriously, yeah, practically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Waypoint had codes, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
y'all fucked up.
Yeah, if video game website or video game podcast showed up in Google,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got one of these.
but it was like
If we got codes.
yeah, and everyone got codes.
Yes.
What was it, a week or two ago? They
About
sent
a
us some
week ago,
code.
last week, yeah.
This came up and I'd never heard of it, and I was like, "Fuck this, we don't care." They sent us codes for Super Seducer, which right off the bat is like, "What the fuck is that? That sounds not good." So we
Yes.
kind of like we're like that's gross. We're not going to play this. Plus, it's beta access. It's not even like a full game yet. So fuck all of this. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. We got
Nope.
some. We,
I'm just leaving it hanging out there
yeah,
in the air.
We got some beta cuck codes. So
Oh, God damn it.
So it's one of these. It's one of those pickup art. Like it was designed by one of those pickup artist schmucks, right?
It is. I guess I'll say his
Apparently
name.
the world famous one.
Yeah, the main one, the real shitty
I think
one.
they all say that they're world famous.
Richard LaRuna.
Yeah.
Okay,
whatever.
so hold on. I want to get this all out there. So we initially like fuck this. We don't care. This is totally not our thing. And then the article started coming out about how terrible this is. And then I was like, I didn't even realize it was FMV based. I thought it was just like another visual novel bullshit type thing. No, it's 100% FMV. So I was like, we have a code. I'm gonna fucking fire this up and see what it's about. I don't remember how many encounters there are. I can make it. I only made it through 2. I know there was at least like probably 5, 6, 7 more. I don't know how many there was total. But yeah, literally this douchebag comes on the screen and talks up who he is and how he can teach you the secrets of seducing women and all of this bullshit. Like 100%, like right off the bat, that's all. It's all gross. And it's made worse because this guy is like the Frank Stallone to Ashton Kutcher. Like he's just like you kind of look like.
Hold on.
like this guy kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher, but like the low rent version of him.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Jimmy Kushner.
yeah, but like he's British, but like also I think Italian originally, but like but so it's like he moved to England at some point, so he has this like kind of British accent, but like
Oh, like Madonna.
sure, just like I adopted a British accent. I wasn't born with it.
Right.
I don't know what I don't care enough about his history to know
Great.
this.
Super.
I only point this out because the entire time I'm playing this, like, and it's one of those things where he made his money doing something with the stock market, unearned money. Like I made a shitload of money because I'm smart and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I'm playing this, I'm like, this guy is like Martin Shkreli. Like he literally like I don't believe a single fucking word about any of this. It's just you had money to publish your own bullshit, to make your own fucking game. I think if you actually tried to talk to women, you'd be shit at it. Because and it could be, it could be that he's terrible. I'm going to put a camera in front of me and do this with actors so that it comes across as like unnatural. But like, there is nothing fucking cool about this guy at all. Like he seems awkward and everything else. And it's like, you're in no way instilling any confidence that you could actually do this. Not that I want you to do that. Not that I think this is a valuable skill, but like, you seem awkward as fuck. And like, you seem like just this dude is like, I'm cool because I make money. Like, and you know, just like he's literally bought this persona for himself, and everything about it is gross, because like the very first encounter is like lady on street, and your first thing is like you're watching a lady walk down the street, and he is walking down the street, and it's like, stop, freeze, what do you do? And it's like, I was
Let
like,
lady continue walking down
Well,
street.
shoot the hostage.
well, I was like, okay, so obviously, like,
Oh.
I'm supposed to engage with her in some way. So I was like, all right, walk alongside her and make small talk. It seemed like the least creepy thing I could do.
Wow.
Good morrow, madam. Are you enjoying this weather?
Well, one of them was like, pretend to be blind. So, like,
How's she gonna fucking know?
no, like,
Let me pull out this
Wait, what?
hold on.
pain.
What?
I didn't do that option. I'm going to throw it out there. I didn't
Why
pick that
not?
up. I seemed like I was
That
going.
seems like the dumbest option.
If you
so
knew how to
should
pick
have
up
done it.
ladies, you would have picked
Yeah.
pretend to be blind.
no,
It's worked
Ladies
literally
love
every time for
fake
me.
blind dudes. It's amazing.
So what? I want to know, like,
what you want to know what the right answer is, or do you want to know what I got for
no,
my
I
first
want to know what
wrong
happens if
answer?
he says he's blind. Does he immediately like put his hands out and?
Oh yeah,
grab her
Oh,
boobs?
sure.
Yeah, he's like walking along. I saw pictures of it. I didn't actually shoot, but yeah, like literally, like, I am blind. Look at me. You know, like hands out in front of him, like
Just
no
like
blind,
a real blind
like
person.
no blind person has ever done. You
I
know,
am
in their
blind.
life, like
Look at me.
because I can't.
Are you looking?
But
I was
picked.
carrying this stick just for this purpose.
I picked walk alongside, and then like he's like, hey, you know, how you doing? And she's like, I gotta go somewhere by. And he's like, no, and it was like, he was like, yo, you shouldn't walk alongside her because it gives her the opportunity to walk away.
Oh, he gives tips when you.
Oh,
choose,
yeah, when you choose the wrong,
I
it
see.
comes-
So it's a teaching tool.
It is a teaching tool, and here it gets into the
Teaching you to be a tool.
Here's the first, like, here's where I realized exactly how gross this game was going to become.
Okay.
Because when you pick something wrong, it's I don't know, it's like a flat line or some bullshit thing up in the corner, and him sitting on a bed by himself, and he goes like, well, that's wrong, and here's why. So then I picked something that was like not quite the right answer, so it was like a half heart or something came up in the corner, and he's sitting on the bed, joined by two ladies,
Oh, I see.
fully clothed.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay. And then I was like, when I finally picked the right answer, which was stand in, like, come, when, like, without too close, stand directly in front of her so that she can't pass.
Oh God.
And then it was like, then it becomes him standing on the bed, like, that's the right choice. The same two ladies are there who are now in lingerie, like, laying on either side of him. Not the ladies from the encounter, just like
No.
two model ladies sitting on the bed. Like,
Well,
literally.
at least he's using positive reinforcement.
But the funny thing is like, it's this bed in like what looks like the tiniest room ever. I mean, seriously, like everything about this is like, this is cheesy as fuck, and I don't even think you have as much money as you say you do. Like everything is like, if you had this money or whatever, like you wouldn't be in a room that barely fits a bed and a camera. You know, like you would like, look at me, I'm hot shit. Look at this room. You know, so whatever, you go through this whole thing and it's like, all right, ask her what she does, blah 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 blah. And you know, cut to like, I did it wrong, I did it, you know, and again, like these, you know, supermodel ladies are on either side of him in lingerie just looking bored as fuck because he's just sitting there blah 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 blah, 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 all this is right. And it dawned on me like, okay, so it's gross, obviously. However, the at the end of the day, like something like this could actually be useful if it's because approaching strangers that you may be attracted to is a legit thing that one might want to do.
Right.
You know, like but it's like you could teach someone that is socially awkward how to initiate
Interaction
with a person.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, with something like this where it's not like the end goal is conquest.
and
you know, like
yeah,
it's-
and how to read nonverbal signals.
Right, and that's what I'm like. I'm playing this. I'm like, this tech is cool. Like, you know, the fact that we've gotten to full motion videos that aren't like Dragon Slayer, like I must go to this chapter on the disc to, you know, and like the stuttery, like the instantaneousness of all of this is like interesting. And you know, for people on the spectrum or people that can't read, you know, signals from people by their faces, it's like this could be a learning tool. I was just like immediately taken back, and it's, believe me, it's a weird place to go, but like in my head, I was immediately taken back to when Half-Life 2 came out. They were like, this facial technology is so good, we are going to license this to teach autistic people facial expressions and understand that this is what this means when somebody does this. And I was like, all of this as someone who is bad at initiating, random social contact. Like, I was just like, this is fascinating if it were used for good. Like this is something that's so close to being something useful for teaching somebody how to, walk up to a stranger and ingratiate yourselves in their life without like making it gross. And there's like almost every page of choices. I mean, sometimes there's just two where it's like, do you pull your dick out, or do you say like, you look nice in that scarf? It's like, well, okay, obviously
Pull your dick out.
obviously, like, you've just given me the two extremes, but like almost every one there's like, look up her skirt or something, like, just like, the fuck, like, what?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just answer everything with pull your dick out.
Your dick out.
So,
God.
Trust me on this.
I don't know. I just like I said, it's like it was like something that, I mean, obviously gross, but like it just got me thinking. I was like, man, like, if only there were something like this for usefulness, like, just
Use your powers for good.
well, yeah, because I mean, meeting a stranger is a thing. People do need to do this. You don't just like people don't just you get on. Not everybody uses a dating app, or not everything's a fucking algorithm. Like, you sometimes just like see somebody and be like, you look like someone I would like to talk to in a non-creepy way,
Now look at my dick.
How do I contain?
You know what I mean?
Convey that.
And it's like,
Here's my dick.
yeah. But the first one is like random lady on the street. The other one is like two attractive ladies sitting at a table in a bar, and the whole thing is presented like, go talk to them and pick
out your dick.
pick which one you want to, and if one doesn't seem interested, maybe the other one is, kind of thing. It's like, fuck, just. God damn it. And that's when I was like, I finished that one and I was like, fuck it, just no, we're done. Like,
the thing that's funny about like all this pickup artist stuff is like all the people that actually think that works already know all of the things that this game is trying to tell them.
sure, probably, yeah. Well, because this dickhead's written books and whatnot.
Yeah, and like that might have had some kind of market like 10, 15 years ago, but like any of that shit, when you try to do it on an actual woman in real life, will get you laughed at best.
Yes.
At best. Or, them blowing their rape whistle and you're you're getting chased down by a cop.
Or
at worst.
blowing their eye out with your fist.
Yeah.
Like I
I
said,
mean, just like,
your eye
because
out with
it's
their
all,
fist.
all of that shit is
Whichever the
just,
right one is.
it's such gross objectification. And it's like, and like you said, treating it like conquest and turning it into this game where you can program another human to do shit. And it's like, no.
Right now. Yeah.
Like everyone knows that shit. Like, as soon as you neg a girl, she's going to go, oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, nice job, piece of fuck. Get away from me.
Right.
Yeah. And we'll probably tear you apart verbally better than you could ever tear them apart. So,
Yeah, like I
It's
said,
just-
it pissed me off on multiple levels, because it was like, and also like I've already read that this dickhole is like going around like suing people for giving bad reviews or whatever. Talking
really?
Bring it
Bro.
on. We have no money.
Yeah.
Come at
No,
us, bro.
I just mean like, if ever there was like a case of like, like small ego, like, like literally everything you're peddling is fucking bullshit. Like, I mean, your whole persona is bullshit. A, you didn't make as much money as you claim you did in the fucking stock market. B, you might have sold a couple books to some lonely people out there who will never actually know true love. And and C, it's like, you're just like, your whole demeanor in this game, which is my only experience with you as a human, is just like, I don't buy that you have the confidence to do any of this to a random actual lady. It's just, and then, like I said, just looking at this tech and going like, this could have been used for good. I mean, like, literally, I am a socially awkward person. A simple, like, verbal cue, what is it a decent thing to say as a, not a pickup line, but like an introductory line? Like, don't think of it as a pickup line. As soon as you say the word pickup, it's like, that implies like pickup, and what usually comes up after pickup? Discard.
Yeah.
Like, you really rarely ever say the word pickup without discard after it.
But you could actually see something like this being used for like, to make the sexual harassment training we all have to go through at every job.
Yeah.
Sure.
Less boring
They should-
than what it is.
They should just reverse engineer this game so that the the leave lady alone option is what gets you the good ending.
Yeah.
Right.
And vice versa. Like, whip your dick out gets you thrown in fucking jail.
If they just take the negative of this game.
Yeah.
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 Well, they just have to refilm it with the HR person because you don't want this dickhole standing
Yeah, just
sitting on a bed with
blowing a
supermodels.
whistle. Nope, stop. Put your dick back in. That is not what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Replace your dick in its proper position.
Sheath it.
But anyway, like I said, it just kind of came, whatever. You can say I hate watched or hate played or whatever this game, I had to see what it was. I was curious at that point.
Yeah.
We had a code.
Well, I'm glad it's not in my Steam library. That's all I can say. Because as
Me
soon as
too.
Chuck sent that code, he's like, "We got this gross email," and I was like, "Nope, no, nope, no."
I mean, I wanted FMV
Carlo's on a
games
list now.
You're
Oh, I'm sure. I think I have one. Thankfully, I think the one Steam achievement I unlocked, which who gives a fuck about Steam achievements anyway, but
Yeah.
it was something like negative or it was something I got it for like getting so many wrong answers, which I was like,
Oh, that's a proud
I was
achievement.
like, I was like, I'll
Yeah.
keep that one achievement on.
I'm human.
I won't hide this game from my list just because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at least in some ways it's weird because like the bar one wasn't quite as gross, and I mean possibly because the social contract is, we have as humans have determined that a bar is an acceptable place to go up and talk to random other humans. Whereas walking down the street by yourself there's something inherently creepy about that. Like,
Please
there's
allow
no-
me to travel from
like-
one destination to
like
another without getting harassed.
Like,
Thank
like there's no witnesses. Like, it's just like you are literally on the street having a random interaction. Whereas like there's somewhat of a social contract of like you may approach stranger and attempt to make conversation in a bar.
Yeah.
But it still was gross when it turned from like take either one that seems interested. All right, fuck off. But
Yeah.
anyway, I wanted to get that one out in the first half because it's negative as shit and is shit. So whatever.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't play it.
Nah, definitely don't give it money. I mean, like if
Yeah.
pretend you're, go put game and podcast or journalist in YouTube and get yourself a free code.
I was gonna say it's just watch it on YouTube. It's FMV. The whole thing will be there, and it's probably there now. So
True.
fuck that guy.
Yep.
All right. You guys want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a little
Absolutely.
breakity break. Breakity break. I wish there was some way we could take money from that guy. We should send him a bill.
Well, I think one of the only like review blurbs was
Steam refund from
for free.
free game.
Hey Steam, can you remove this from my library? Except I would like to keep the one achievement, but otherwise remove it from my library.
Oh, you got an achievement?
That's what I'm saying. I got an achievement for getting so many wrong answers.
You got to take your. I got to take your
So many wrong answers.
He doesn't have a heartworm. He's got a gut worm.
Yeah.
It should say something that I think one of the only like blurbs or quotes for the game comes from Piers Morgan, who also called him a dick, like on his show. Like he was like, "You're Richard. You're literally a dick." When probably in more Britishy, smarmy Piers Morgan voice.
Is there any other Piers Morgan voice?
I don't know.
No.
What? What about?
That's true.
Okay.
So, Chuck, did you ever get a Switch?
I had a Switch and then I sold it.
Yeah.
looks delicious.
It is. It's so
Mm,
good.
Man,
It's my delicious.
drink that pink muscle milk, buddy.
Shut up. I can't. Come on.
Chug, 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 chug,
This
chug,
is saving
chug,
my life.
chug.
Don't make me laugh.
Let him live.
I'm not looking at you drinking pink
Oh.
goo.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Is it chalky?
Yes, it's super chalky.
So it's just crushed up Pepto-Bismol
Probably.
and water.
Huh? Milk with magnesia. It's
So the good old mom.
it's the old Carafate.
Oh,
You know.
so your Carol Fate is in that's hands.
Yes.
Nice. Let me take a nip.
You want a little snort? A little toot.
I just wanted to point out, as a matter of fact, for the live stream, I finally got my own copy of Mario Odyssey today, and I got a Cappy coin, because that's what you do. But no, when I had it before, it wasn't even my own copy. I was borrowing somebody's, so now I have my own, so I will play more of it.
Hey, you dumbass cat. Hey, 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 cat. The thing staring me in the eyes. Like, woo! Hey, Chuck. Hey. How you been aside from the gut issues?
Other than that, I've been
Yeah.
fine.
Other than your insides trying to find their way out.
It's just been a month of torture.
Torture. How'd that Doctor Who podcast end up?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good, not great.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. It's Patreon.
Yeah. Forget it.
Yeah, it's Patreon. No, that's the one that matters. That's the one people actually pay money for.
It is, yeah. That's how
That's
we
like
make
we
a
need to
living.
remind people about Let's Slays. Because this is
We're gonna-
that's no quarters content.
We're gonna tease it at the end of this show.
Okay.
Talk all about it.
Oh, do we need to do a special intro?
Well, yeah, I guess we do.
Patreon bumper.
So we got to do 2.
What?
Well, someone has to do an intro,
Oh.
and then a generic intro.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. I feel bad I forgot Wolfenstein. I need to bring that back to you.
I got.
Coworker loaned me South Park, and I still haven't booted up yet.
Oh.
I really should do that.
I could have loaned you my South Park.
What?
I
Oh, you have it too?
Yeah.
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 He doesn't care. He beat it, so he's like, whatevs.
Yeah, that's a game that is supposed to have DLC, but they haven't said shit about it.
They keep selling the gold edition.
I know.
In all the sales, and I keep going, maybe.
It's like, you guys haven't mentioned anything
Yeah.
about DLC. So,
Yeah. I need to wait for Jen to get that job offer so then I can pull the trigger on the $100 worth of stuff I have sitting in my in my PlayStation cart.
mm-hmm.
Or I should just like spend the $20 and get Uncharted Lost Legacy and kind of say whatever on the others.
Yeah.
Because I have Horizon Zero Dawn on disc, but I should probably just
Get
just
that-
buy the DLC for $15 rather
that
than
digital one, yeah. Yeah.
rather than buying digital and all that shit.
Yeah.
Save myself the $17. Man, I took a day off work to put up a wall. Yeah,
Yeah, we got some money.
and we're not even done. Huh?
We got another pledge
Really?
just a minute ago.
Really? It's so new it hasn't even come through my phone yet.
I just got it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I get it.
I get it.
Man, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So Far Cry is a week away, or a month away.
Month away. The Far Cry 3 version that plays on modern systems is supposed to be out today
Is it?
for people who pre-ordered it.
Okay.
Who
So that
got
was
the
that weird
season
pre-order bonus?
Well, it's in the season pass. So if you got one of the versions with the season pass, you should get it. But I'm guessing that only counted for if you pre-ordered it digitally, because like I pre-ordered it at Best Buy, and there's no way Best Buy
Yeah,
is
Best
just
Buy
gonna...
only ever sends you the codes
Yeah.
once the game ships.
Yeah. So
Which is kind of crap, but I mean, at least you get the codes, but
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
That's why I just do digital for everything, man.
Yeah, but
I know I can't return shit like Monster Hunter, but I've played 20 hours worth of Monster Hunter, so it's not like I would feel bad returning it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, you know what? I got enough hours out of this. I don't know, man. I don't know anything anymore. Have we decided what next week's Bamcast movie is, by the way? I know we're
I
not going to
told
say
you
it
about-
on there.
I told you about it, and you said that sounds good.
That was before I mentioned it's our 9th anniversary show.
No, you asked me after.
Really?
Check your texts, yo.
Really?
It was like the last thing we talked about.
Wait.
Pretty sure it was you.
Like via text message?
Yeah, we were talking about it over the weekend, I think.
Were we?
Yes.
Were we?
Sunday morning, you were texting me about it.
Oh, I
Fresh
see.
from church.
Yeah. That was me
Yeah.
at church.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. This is the one where you said, I think this could be our next Action Jackson.
Yes, that
I
is
found that text exchange.
Yes, that's the conversation.
You realize Sunday was like a year ago.
It was a
for
very
me.
long time ago.
Like,
It
the way time is advancing in
Yeah.
my life now.
Yeah. Okay, so YouTube is sending us the same "Oh God, your bitrate is too high" message, but
We've dropped 12 frames.
it's never gone to red.
Oh, okay.
It keeps alerting me like, hey, too many bits, but you're still cool. Everything's good.
Bits on the dance floor. Too many bits.
And yes, C Mike's 916, I am going to pick up the Dark Souls remaster. Because that's what I do. However, I will actually play that one because I never modded my PS or my PC version to run the 60 frames a second thing because I didn't want to have to deal with like climbing up ladders and that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to get it. I'd like to see how it runs in 60 frames because I got kind of used to that later on playing Neo, and I really want to go back and see how that looks now.
At least Chuck can see. Well, I guess you could turn on that monitor and see, but there's your I did something right cutscene.
Ew.
With, like I said, does that guy scream, I have actual confidence? No.
He's beardy Ashton Kutcher.
Yep. With a quasi, I mean, it's British, but like I said, not like I was born in England accent.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Like I said,
And I don't mean that literally. Ladies.
and those
Do not fuck that
those
guy.
ladies could not look more bored.
They do. They look awfully bored.
Yep. And like I said, could you find a tinier room to film this in? That really screams like, look, I have money. Hey, I wasn't talking to you.
Shut up!
That's the ladies you can talk shit to. The digital ones.
It's like the corner of his parents' bedroom.
Yeah. It's like, our bed's fancy, son, if you
I
want to
think,
use
I
it.
think,
for your
I think
little
non-beardy
movie.
version of him is even worse.
Ew.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking mutant Bono.
I'd play that game. It's called U2 Bomber.
He looks like Bono with gonorrhea.
Bono.
Gonorrhea.
Bonorrhea.
That's the worst music
Oh, that
festival you can
festival's
go
terrible.
Do not go to that.
Don't go to Bonorrhea.
Simultaneously, that happens with Burning Man.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
God.
where they combine the two.
Right, yeah.
It's Bonneria.
You get them both, and then
Is it actually our 9th anniversary, by the way?
Is it?
next week.
Next
Oh,
week.
okay.
Awesome. Congrativersary to us.
Yeah, not for no quarters. What did we start? Was that did we start that a year later or not quite a year later? Did we started this?
Well, close.
I don't know. I wasn't here.
What's that?
Well, yes, fart noise. Thank you. He asked when the No Quarters anniversary was, and I said, I didn't know. I don't know. I wasn't here.
And then
Yeah, and then he made a fart noise, and then you went, what's that? And then I said,
Yeah,
he asked
It's late in the year. It's like
Yeah,
October or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, remember the first episode we were talking about DJ Hero?
Wobbly Stand Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember DJ Hero. I think that means nobody to anybody but everyone in this room. It's okay. Yeah.
That was funny. Like, it's just like, that's really cool. And then,
What does it
how much
cost?
does it cost? Okay, that's not that cool.
Well, yeah, when you start explaining, well, you need an Xbox 360, and you need this
Yeah.
game, and you don't have to have the Wobbly Stand Edition, but that one costs
Yeah.
this much, and
Yeah.
then there's songs you can download. Never mind. None of this makes any sense to me anymore. I thought you plugged it into your TV like Pong.
Wait, Fruit Ninja?
Like that Fruit Ninja?
Are you talking about like the one on the phone where you slice the fruit in half with your finger?
I
There's a
guess.
Connect version where you slice
There's
fruit in half.
There's
with
an
your
arcade
hand.
version with a giant iPad.
Yes, we've played Fruit Ninja.
Yeah. Have you
Frinja.
heard of Plants vs. Zombies?
I played Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's a hot new banger.
Banger. Actually, that Pac-Man
Yeah.
arcade game is pretty fucking cool. The one that's like
The
4
giant one?
players. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, Pac-Man Versus?
Yeah. That's good.
You played it against fallen celebrity Billy Mitchell.
Did I?
Yeah.
Disgraced
Did I win?
former
Did I
video
win?
game
No.
hero.
Renowned cheater,
Yes.
Billy Mitchell.
Man,
Alleged.
That's hot news we should talk about.
No, it's not.
Well, I'll talk about it now. Billy Mitchell is a disgrace, apparently, allegedly.
Well, I mean,
Apparently, he's a huge dick.
I
too.
understand.
Well.
I could have told you that just from meeting him once, but like the whole thing about okay, it has to be on an actual arcade board and it can't be a MAME version. There's kind of like I kind of understand it, but I kind of don't. You know,
It's the
because I kind of understand it because they want everyone on the level playing field, but like,
There's too many variables in maiming.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, because like the speed of your computer would affect it. You can inject secret code in the background.
Right.
I mean, there's like
But like the thing they literally did to figure out that he was cheating at it was that
was freeze framing it.
well, like MAME draws the stuff. It draws the images in at on a different pattern than the arcade board.
Yeah.
So you're playing it differently. And
Yeah.
they also were like, no one can duplicate this. Like, what?
I
How
think-
did he?
I think another. Well, people have just blown by his scores legitimately.
Yeah, and that's the funny
Which
thing
is-
too is that they are renouncing his scores. He was like in 10th place by the time that this
Yeah,
controversy
he and the
came
guy
out.
from King of Kong.
Yeah, they've
are
been
like,
surpassed a
yeah.
long time ago.
Steve Weeb.
Yeah. So this was just like, hey, fuck that guy. I don't know. It just. But I mean, that was all that shady shit in that movie because like every time that the dude would get a new Donkey Kong score, some fucking nerd would run into the room with a tape and go, Billy Mitchell got a new score. And you couldn't see him on the tape. You know, it's just.
Yeah. Another one of the things is like they suspect that he's been. Is it save scumming when you do it in MAME? Whatever the thing is where you like quick save.
Yeah.
And then go back once you fucked up. They've basically accused him of doing that. And he's like, oh, no, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do those things.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I don't have a MAME in my house. Okay, friend. I don't
cleaned
know.
my house myself.
I mean, I don't really have a dog in this hunt. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
still have his
like
hot sauce.
I like that we've gotten to the point when we go to conventions that we're just like, hey, Billy Mitchell's in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just waiting for him to bust out the white suit. And then we
Yeah.
go, ah, look,
Yeah,
Billy Mitchell in the
yeah.
white suit. All right, next.
Like this last one, he was fucking narrating the entire show, and none of us cared.
I had no idea it was him.
It was him. He was the DJ for the whole show.
The more interesting thing was that fucking weirdo Keith Apicary dude.
Yeah.
That guy is a fucking nutcase.
Yeah. Anyway, there's
Singing
your
along
hot
to his songs.
halftime break there. Yeah, he did sing along to his own songs. That was,
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
yeah, that midnight hour thing was real interesting.
Anyway,
I need to be drunker next time, I think.
Yeah.
For that
here comes the
particular.
thing.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Yeah, I know.
Fucking magic, dude.
Yeah,
You're like butter honey butter.
thanks, Sugar Bear.
Sugar bear. Oh, Jesus. Apparently I'm 13.
Yeah. Good job, Peter Brady. Oh, jeez.
Sugar bear.
I think
Nope,
you should
still-
Nope.
you
Yeah,
should
can't
stand
get that
right
down.
in front of the lady so that she can't pass by you.
If I want to talk to a lady, the first thing I do is say mean things about her.
Like, wow, that makeup's like really bad.
Like that top would look better on you if you weren't so fat. Dude, I'll go in the kitchen and get me a snack.
Will you make me Scooby snacks in the morning?
Super shaggy seducers.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, I got that one. I'm with you. That was pretty boombastic.
Pretty what?
He's
Boom-tastic.
shaggying.
Yeah, I said
Shagging.
fantastic.
Oh, the train is coming to get you.
Tickle my nose. I might hot you sneeze.
I don't want Train to come and get me.
Don't tickle my nose. I might hot you sneeze.
What the fuck happened?
I don't.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
They call me Mr. Boombastic. Simply fantastic. Anyway, I want someone to go record an
Like,
entire
picture
Shaggy
this.
album. Shaggy
Like we were both butt naked.
banging on the bathroom floor. Like, wow.
Like, how could I have forgotten that I had, like, given her an extra key, dude?
So dumb. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Anywho,
Yeah.
let's do a second half.
Let's do the rest of this shit.
All right, welcome back. Second half.
Hey, still a motherfucking video game podcast.
Yep.
It is.
Never stop.
But you know what we also cover?
Video games?
Non-video games.
Analog games?
Board games? What? Kinda. Yeah, I received The Thing Infection at Outpost 31 for Christmas and finally got a
Nice.
chance to play it.
I also played it
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
And some other
oh,
people.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
How did you two meet?
Podcast. He was walking down the street. I
Yeah.
stood directly in front of him, and I said, "Do you like
and then-
video
and-
games?"
yeah, and then he whipped his dick out. And I was like, "Oh, hey, we can be friends."
Was
now.
that the infection at Outpost
Hey,
31?
you want to play with my Wii?
I call it the thing.
Yeah, but yes, it was one of those cases where like originally it was just gonna be Walt and his wife came over, and I'm like, well, maybe we probably need more people because like The Thing is a social interaction game because of course you're simulating the movie where it's like, all right, well this someone's the thing, and then eventually they're infecting other players, and the goal is to figure out who is the thing and who isn't, and who's infected and who's not, and all that. And so I was like, well, shit, we need more people. So I called Harlow, and then I got my neighbors to come over, and it was just kind of this weird group that I was really worried about it not working because it's one of those games where when you sit down with it, it seems like there are a billion instructions for everything, but it turns out it's really just like
It's actually kind of simple. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
it turns out like you get instructions for a room that are very easy to follow, where it's like, okay, somebody has to have a petri dish and somebody has to have a fire extinguisher, and it boils down to that. And then you have the group, and you've taken your group with you, and then they have to be like, okay, well, I have that, so I'll play that, and that's how you resolve rooms. And so each thing's like kind of broken up into little compartments, but the whole meta game of it is, all right, we have to find things that we fight. You're fighting the little spider head thing and the dog thing and the
But there's also imitations running around, like just like in the movie, where certain people will have ulterior motives because they're not human anymore.
yeah, and they can sabotage the mission, and that's kind of how you discover, okay, there's an imitation in our midst. And man, like this played better than I thought it would, especially with that group where some people just didn't know each other at all, and it was just kind of like my neighbor. she was just like positive that it was me and it was Walt's wife because we were both sitting on the couch. She was like, "It's you two. You two are things. I know it," and like would not hear any other discussion otherwise for the entire rest of the game. And then like Walt is just kind of like he basically played the game chaotic neutral, where he was just like, I'm gonna just start fucking with things because it turns out he was a human, but everybody was like, "No, you're a fucking imitation."
I like throughout 3/4 of the game, I was 100% convinced he was human, and then he made one move, and I was like, I was so very wrong. Like you were absolutely 100% not human because I mean, just to kind of paint the scenario, there was like you're going to throw down cards secretly, and even to the person that's collecting them, shuffles them up so they don't know who gave them what. But like we kind of had a scenario where it was like we pretty much knew exactly what cards were going to come out because we kind of talked about it. Like I'm contributing this, and it was like, all right, if anything else shows up, then we 100% have an imitation here. And then he did some sort of power where like 3 more cards were introduced in, thus like negating the certainty of what was about to come up to like prove everything. And it was like, why would anyone do that power except to like throw somebody off the scent or whatever, So it kind of plays like it's a little bit like Dead of Winter, which I know has betrayers kind of thing in it, but I believe they're just known as soon as it happens. So it's like Dead of Winter where you're basically trying to defeat the board and get to the end, but also like mixed with like the deception of something like Battlestar Galactica where you have the hidden Cylons and you're trying to and it's making your move without getting known. Right. So it's interesting in that regard.
Yeah, And we had, and I mean, and the game itself is really cool. Like the board's really nice. There's nice little miniatures for everybody. You know, I was Nails.
Yeah, it was Windows.
Yeah.
The radio operator dude.
Yep, and you have certain people that are in certain like they're all grouped into different like science and
Maintenance
maintenance
and ops.
something
I
like
think
that.
I've
But
said this, yeah.
like so you like everyone gets involved at some point because the card is like, okay, this mission for this room is okay, you have to have someone from ops and you have to have 2 people from science. So, you know, you're always including everyone in the game. There's like not a I mean, you can technically if you were like you're a thing, I'm not taking you along ever.
Right.
Which happened to one of my neighbor. He was just like, I'm not a thing, but he totally was a fucking thing from the beginning. But his wife had pegged it like immediately. She was like, don't take him on any missions. But and then at the end what happens is if you are able to make it through without losing too many rooms, because when you lose rooms they start smoking and then they catch fire and then they're basically condemned. And that moves you closer to basically a fail state.
Yeah, game over state.
Yeah.
If you lose, like, I think it was 5 rooms, it's like game over state. You know, you don't have a functional facility anymore.
Yeah.
And you all freeze to death.
Yeah. But otherwise, if you make it past and you've defeated a certain number of things and collected, like, the rope and the dynamite and the other things that you'd need.
Flamethrower.
Yeah. At the end, you can get on the helicopter. But you have to designate a captain to choose the 3 people who go on the helicopter. And so the debate raged on who needed to be the captain because some people had used a power that lets them straight up see, like check one person to see if they're an imitation or not. So,
But only they know, and they can't divulge.
yeah,
So,
which Walt did also, which threw everybody off. Because
Yeah,
I think he checked you.
he did check me, and it was like, okay. I mean, I literally at one point I made a declaration. I was like, don't anybody else put this in this pile because we need. It was like certain cards like a shotgun or something is good for battling because you get more dice rolls for fighting the thing, thus increasing your chances. And I was like, we only need one of these to pass this. I have one and I'm going to put it in there. Don't anyone else throw one in there. And if there's not one in there, you know, then obviously I'm an imitation and I fucked you over. I'm staking my reputation on the fact that there will be one of these in here.
Right.
You know, and I was like, and if there's not, then you can call me out. You know, but so you depending on the number. Well, I think you always, no matter how many people are playing, you always start with one hidden imitation, and then as you go through different sections, that you have the potential to gain more. You almost certainly will gain more.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You will definitely gain at least one.
Yeah.
Because we had 7 people, and there's one infection starts the game. One person is infected, and then you hit a certain round, and everyone has to redraw from the deck. And in there are 2 infected cards additionally, so you can have up to 3. But if the infected picks an infected card, obviously it comes back. So you could have as few as 2, but as many as 3.
Yeah. And
I got infected between round 1 and round 2, so I kind of had to change my strategy around quite a bit to. It becomes really fun in trying to convince everyone that you're not an alien, even though you are, and
yeah, it's good. I mean, I like deception games in general. Like I love Avalon and Resistance and Werewolf and all these types of things where it's literally a lying game, and it's just adds the board game aspect to it. So it's not simply just a social like I will call you out for this lying here kind of thing. So.
Yeah. And I was able to fuck up the end game a bit because Lisa, my neighbor, was just like, all right. Basically, she said, her husband, Scott, she's like, he's an alien.
Yeah.
Mackey's an alien. And then I think she said Walt was an alien because he was acting so shady.
Right.
And she was like insistent on it. And I'm like, Lisa's been talking a lot about everybody else being aliens all night long. What? And she's the only one who's looked at Bethany's card and suddenly stopped talking about Bethany. And I'm like, what if the 2 of them are aliens? What if it's the 2 of them and Walt? And like Walt just became, because he had fucking chaotic neutraled it and didn't want to defend it either. He's just like, hey man, you think what you want. And I'm like, no, you son of a bitch.
That is how
like,
Walt plays games.
Yeah, I was like, Walt, you're out of the circle of trust. All of us are in here. You're like in the backyard somewhere.
Yeah, you're outside the Venn diagram at this point.
Yeah, and eventually she picked. Basically, Jen, my wife, got tagged the same time I did between the second and third rounds, and she got picked for the helicopter. So
Yeah, as long
they
as one
lost.
imitation gets on the helicopter, all the humans lose because they make it out the population, and
Right.
there's more things. So
But that's the thing too, is like you don't know who the other infected are. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what's fun about it.
yeah,
too.
even the other infected don't.
Because
know.
usually a lot of those games, like you know who the other people are, and so this one's kind of fun in that you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
You can kind of figure it out, and sometimes you can do it through process of elimination, but which I figured Scott was, and then I knew I was, so I was like, fuck. But I was convinced it was Walt, and
I was too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But the interesting thing is there's also to go along with the movie, if you get through the main game fairly well at the end without destroying rooms or whatever, you get blood tests, which basically means somebody can go like, all right, we're getting on the helicopter, but I'm blood testing, and if you do it good, you get through without destroying any rooms. You can get 2 blood tests. We only had 1, so I thought it was bad because we pretty much had called out your neighbor as being a thing, but somebody still blood tested him. It was like, we were pretty sure about him, and he flipped it over. Of course he was, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, why'd you blood test him? Why not like Walt or somebody that were like, you know? Like,
well,
but-
Walt nobody did because everyone was just like, well,
yeah,
clearly.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of interesting because that's the one state where you can basically be like, all right, I pick you, and they have to flip their card over and show, and then everybody knows. But that's that's literally an in-game thing. It's like you're doing the little
Yeah.
wire in the petri dish test at the very end of the game.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at how quickly everyone picked it up because I was very worried because like it seems intimidating, and you watch like a couple of videos.
Yeah, what
on
was that
YouTube.
Board game?
Cavern.
Cavern. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
that
it was
guy
a
was
dungeon,
pretty good.
not cavern. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty good. Except it's weird because his video like it's kind of explaining everything pretty slowly, and all of a sudden he's like, and that's the end of the game, and it was like, wait, what? Like it's like he was doing very detailed, but it seemed like he was making like, I have a 12-minute limit on this video, and I just
Yeah.
had to wrap it up, and
Yeah.
then I mean, Geek and Sundry girl. Oh God, I'm sorry, can't watch her videos.
Yeah,
Like
we-
I wish
we
they
had to-
play it on
Which
tabletop because the redhead who like has to be all like, I'm doing voices and weird stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not
Yeah.
Felicia Day, not that redhead, but the one who just like literally her videos are like, I'm going to explain a board game, but you can't do it without like, I'm doing a voice now. You know, like YouTube bullshit.
Yeah.
But like the 30 seconds to 2 minutes that they spend at the beginning of a tabletop episode is better than her 20-minute long videos. Like they usually get to the point in the beginning of a
Yeah.
tabletop of like, okay, I feel confident
Yeah.
enough to like go play.
Yeah, the 2 nice things that I like about tabletop videos is, one, the quick explanations of the games. They go over the basic rules, and then
And then you can
throughout
watch
the
them
rest
play,
of the
yeah.
episode, they will fill you in on all the rest of the rules.
Right.
And 2, that they're super entertaining.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah,
but-
I mean there were like hour and a half playthroughs online,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
but I was like, we're not watching that. We're going to watch this one that's like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
That's
probably
the
the one
problem.
to watch. I mean,
Yeah,
watch
and
it.
he didn't cover all the scenarios, so it was kind of like, well, wait, blood tests. We got at the end. You know,
Yeah.
we're basically having to resort to the huge manual that comes with
Yeah.
it. But
But it's a good game.
I'd say, yeah, I mean it's
I've already been recommending it to some board game people I know, like saying, yeah, I know you're going to dig this because it's similar to this. You know, like I said, that's my elevator pitch is it's Dead of Winter. You know, everybody versus the board with extra Battlestar like hidden agenda things.
yeah, and it's just got fun little scenarios to go through as you're making your way through the game. And it's just got a nice it's a nice set.
Yeah.
You know, all the cards are nice, and the little figures that they give you are
Well,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Was it just co-made with Mondo, or did they actually make the game? Or
I believe they made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never really figure out if it was like 100% Mondo, or if they were just like, we're backing you.
Yeah, but
So,
I mean,
you know,
it's on Amazon now,
Yeah.
so it's not like you have to,
wait for their
wait for Mondo to ship it 12 months later.
Right.
via Shetland Pony Express.
Do you mind if I toss in another board game recommendation before we move on?
Oh no, this
Since,
is the board game area.
Yeah,
man.
board game corner, impromptu board game corner. There is a game called Codename, and there are several versions of it. There's a Marvel Codename and some other ones. Codename is really interesting. You get a stack of tiles, and you put them out. You put a 5x5 grid of, or they're not tiles, they're cards. They're like square cards. You put them out in a 5x5 grid, and then you have two teams with a director, basically, for each team, and the directors get to see the grid of what's a good square and their team's square and the other team's square, and you have to use one word to describe squares that your team needs to pick. You use one word and a number of how many squares to pick. and so you touch a square if you're not the director. Touch a square and flip the card, and it goes back and forth. It sounds like really simple and dumb, but it can get really fun and confusing because you have to use you want to try to use one word to describe multiple things sometimes to make people flip over the right cards.
Give me an example of a card, and then like what word you would use to.
So there'll be something
say
like
the
there'll be
card.
like France or something like that, and
Right.
and you want to say like baguette, which might be too specific, but then there might be like bread shop might be on there or something too. It's like, well, I can't say that because bread shop's a bad card, but France is the one I want them to pick.
Right.
You know.
Or you'll have we played the Marvel version
Right.
at my game night, and you got a bunch of Marvel shit out on the board, and there might be 3 or 4 green. There might be like the Hulk and
Green Goblin.
and another
Skrull.
green thing.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Green outfit.
Yeah. And so you might say like green 3 in hopes that they'll pick the right, things that are green. But there might be also another card that has a little bit of green in it, so there's a little bit of chance.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I've played it. It's cool. I would describe it as like it's like analog Minesweeper meets $100,000 pyramid, kind of, because it's like you have to say like one thing and make them understand that that's what you're saying.
yeah,
But not the bad thing.
The
Yeah,
password.
password.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
something like that. But
Chocolate babies.
it's it's
Streets of Reykjavik, Iceland.
Sorry.
just one word. But it's
I broke Chuck with that one.
That is the most obscure fucking reference.
I knew you'd get it.
Fucking Christopher Guest Saturday Night Live reference.
you can
Back to the game. Sorry.
reel it in just a little bit. You can play through a game in 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. Really easy and quick to learn, and you can blow through 10 games in an hour.
So it's like one of those good warm-up games.
Yeah, it's
like
a good
if you're
warm-up
waiting
game.
for somebody to show up
Yeah.
or whatever.
or a cooldown game, or a pause game, or something.
Yeah, it is a good game.
Yeah.
I would recommend as well.
Yeah.
I've only played vanilla Codenames.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd probably like Marvel because it's
sure I
got all
would.
the Marvel shit.
Yeah.
All them.
I feel like that would be
Goblins
one like
and whatever.
I'd have to play with goblins
Yeah.
flying on scooter goblins,
Scooter goblins.
fighting Spider-Man.
We are so off the
Put
rails.
something in the water that makes all the pumpkins gay.
I feel like the problem with playing like Marvel Codenames is I would have to be in a room with equally nerdy Marvel people because I'd be.
helps.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'd want to give like something really obscure. Like no, I mean this character, one word. Like no doubt. But then the other would be like, I don't know what that means.
It honestly helps because I used Skull for something, and there was something that was somewhat similar to Skull, either in the name or in its backstory or something. And one of the guys I was playing with was like, "Boom, that one!" And it's like, no, that was
You
when you
meant
flip
the
it over, it was
Punisher,
like Thanos or something. That's like there are a couple cards that end the game for your team, or there's one card that ends the game for your team, and then there are other cards that just end your turn. And it was like my first round, and I'm like, Skull, and Skull 3, and he taps one. I'm like, yeah, you're doing it. Taps another. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get this. We're gonna fucking wreck him. And the third one he touched was the Thanos card, which ended the fucking game.
Game over.
Yeah. So anyhow, Codename, regular or Marvel version, pretty good games.
Yep.
That is all. Thank
Cool.
you for your indulgence.
Yeah. Get back to video games.
Oh right.
Whoa.
Assassin's Creed Origins. They finally put out that exploration mode that they talked about before the game, where it's basically
Learning.
yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good because they've basically taken the entire map, but think about like how you'd be guided through if you went to a landmark, like if you went to Buckingham Palace, and they're like, all right, at this, you'd walk in and you'd have a stop where the tour guide would be like, this is where the Queen enters, and this is where and then you'd walk around the corner and be like, these are the corgi stables, whatever, because
Wait,
corgis need stables.
They have corgi stables there?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't go on that
but
door.
that sort
The
of
Royals
thing.
are
But
weird.
imagine that like just all over the giant Assassin's Creed map, and all about ancient Egypt, and Greece at the time. Like just Romans and Greeks and all, like everything that was going on at that time in all these areas, and a guided tour like with narration and basically like being like, you know, with the line along the ground that you follow, and that when you hit the checkpoint, it's like, all right, here. And then they would have they have photos that come up as the narration is happening. So like if it's, you know, it's about the preservation, like the process of mummification, and they'd have like a 16-step thing where they're like, all right, and this is the part where they do this, and then they, you know, show you one of the ancient tools would be the photo that they'd use.
Here's a hook that they took the brains out through the nose.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much they
We got an
discuss
ancient
that
tool
process. And, yeah, I mean it is super cool, and it's free for anyone that owns the game. So it's just added in, and you just, but there's no combat. But there's also extra stuff in there, like, you know, normally when you go to the mummy place, there's not like a sarcophagus sitting there. But, you know, in part of the tour, it's there. So, but they let you just roam the entire map, and there is stuff everywhere. There are like dozens of categories of tours.
So is it completely audio based, or is there like on-screen stuff happening, pointing things out too? Or you said
what
they'll
they
show you
do
the
is,
tool or
is you'll
whatever?
go to the area and like, you know, like where they're doing the mummification stuff, like they'll have the guy pulling guts out, you know, so it'll focus on that. But then like if you hit A, it'll bring up the photo that'll show like the tool they would use to carve into the side of the mummy, or, you know, of the body or whatever. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it is very. I was impressed with the level of quality of it, because there's like a male and a female narrator, and just like a ton of information. You know, it's kind of like how when we were playing Never Alone and they got to the videos, and you're like, man, I want to keep playing this just to see more of these videos.
Yep.
That's kind of what it feels like, but
Okay.
it feels like a very cool guided tour of ancient Egypt. You know, an area that, you know, and they get into like daily life, and you know, you can go in the pyramids and find out all of the things about, okay, what the burial chambers mean, and you know how certain ones were pillaged, and you know, getting into like in the 18th century how rich fucks just basically took mummies home and had unwrapping parties and just bullshit like that. You know, they don't shy away from any of that. And there are certain points where they're just like, all right, in the game we let you roam around in these sacred areas, but if it were actual Egypt, you would have been murdered the second you set foot in there. You know, like, but for the sake of the game, you're allowed to do that just because it's a game.
Yeah.
And it would suck. So, you know, they kind of address sometimes, all right, here's what, you know, here's why this wasn't in the game, or here's why it was, or, you know, why, like, in reality it would have been very different because of this. So it's I was super impressed with it, and I'm glad they finally put it in. It's a shame it wasn't there at launch, you know, but I think it's a very good selling point. And I know there's been some complaints, like, if there's, I guess it was like sculptures that might have had nudity in them, they kind of cover them up with seashells or whatever. But I guess they wanted to use that in like an educational way. So they're like, if a school wanted to use this as some sort of part of a class, they wouldn't have to deal with that sort of thing. So I understand why they did it, but you know, it's still kind of like, kids can handle a sculpture with boobs on it, you know.
Yeah, they can.
And that game
You probably
had-
shouldn't let them though.
Yeah,
No,
and
yeah,
that game
ancient.
had women walking around with boobs out anyway. So.
Scandal.
But yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
they changed, like, and there's little things like they changed Cleopatra's outfit, because in the game, like, it's kind of very revealing on her sides, and they've kind of altered the outfit she wears because you can control a bunch of different characters through that section. So yeah,
Interesting.
I was very impressed with it, and if you have Assassin's Creed Origins, you haven't touched it in a while, go back in, man. Update it. Go to exploration mode off the main menu. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially if you like that whole learning thing. I know.
Well, you should.
Yeah. Hey. And it's free, man. If you bought the game, it's free.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Free LC.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that from?
And hey, if you care about achievements, there's 3 of them in there too.
For looking at stuff?
Basically for finishing a tour.
Okay.
And, you know,
Free learning channel.
finishing all the daily life ones, which there are a ton of daily life ones.
TL's free.
Yeah. It's
Deals
good.
are free.
God. Speaking of exploration, there's
All
this
right.
game called Valley, which is kind of an exploration game.
Yeah. It was like $4.
It was $4 on Xbox One, and I had previously come to the conclusion that I was going to stop buying these indie games I'd never heard of, even if they were cheap, because I have a whole pile of them that I never play.
However, you can't resist a deal.
Well, it wasn't
For
that it was a
$4.
deal. It was $4 plus the premise sounded cool, which was basically the general premise of it is that you're an explorer. You're looking for a magic thing, something that controls the destiny of the universe or some bullshit. And you get to this area that has been previously explored by people, but they're all gone. But they had developed this technology in World War II called a leaf suit. And it's basically this exoskeleton thing that just lets you jump and fly and do all sorts of cool shit. And also see audio logs in the environment, which you can just look at and then the audio logs play. So it just, you look at the trailer and you're like, well, that looks like it might be kind of chill and relaxing and that could be all right. And for a while it kind of is. There are these just big environments that you can just kind of run through, but that's all you're really doing. You're just running through them to get to the next environment. Mm-hmm. And it gets strangely platformy. And there are places where you can jump and miss a jump and start all the way back at the beginning of a level again. And it's just like, man, I so don't want to go through all the shit I just went through to get here.
Yeah.
So you put it down, and it has a bad checkpointing system. Like, it doesn't save throughout a level. It saves at the start of a level, and that's it. So I thought it was like a modern video game and put it away and then came back to it the next day and realized I had to start almost all over again at the beginning of a level, and I was just like, man, you're getting on my nerves, Valley.
Yeah.
It's also an early Xbox One game, and it's not enhanced for the X, which means it looks like shit. Everything is blurry and just like, man,
Spoiled bastard.
I am now. I'm that guy. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's got a vibe to it. It's got a mood to it. It's got some stuff in it I like, but I almost got to the point where I think I might be done with it. Mm-hmm. I may go back in. The themes are nice. It's like you don't necessarily die. If you die, what happens is that the world dies a little bit, and then you have to find a way to restore the world, so that you never the game doesn't necessarily end unless you just keep running through and you don't revitalize the world as you're going through the environment. But you can also like suck energy out of living things to re-energize yourself.
So you're a vampire.
Sort of. Like you're supposed to be using this power for good. You're supposed to be transferring your energy into the things that are dead. Like, you'll come across, dead trees and stuff like that, and you bring them back to life. Or you'll come across dead, like deer or something like that, and you can bring them back to life. But if you just see animals running around, you're low on health, just fucking zap their energy out of them. And
Does that kill them?
yeah.
Oh,
Totally does.
that's sad.
Yeah. So I guess player choice if you want to be a dick or not. But yeah, it's made by the people who made that Slender Man game that I know a couple of us played.
Yeah. I played that.
Which I thought was kind of all right. Wasn't the best spooky game, but it was kind of okay, except the game kind of cheated and that stupid thing would pop out anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. For $4, I don't regret it. I mean, I would say I got my $4 out of it already, but I don't know.
And
maybe.
it was on sale. Normally it was like 20, I think.
It was like a super sale, so like a fire sale. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about it.
Yeah, I grabbed it. I need to give it a shot, but
yeah,
I was too busy attempting to learn how to play Monster Hunter. So
I think in your case, sometimes anyway, it might be a game that your wife might help out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, jump over there, or there's a glowy thing up there, go get it.
She is good at spotting glowy things
Yeah.
where I get like myopic tunnel vision.
Yes.
I'm like, it was on the corner of the screen. I didn't see it.
Yeah, this game has a lot of, there's pixie dust over there, but is that a different pixie dust than the one I need, or,
Yeah.
So, it's all right. It's fine.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
So it's
Is it
not
Chuck
good.
Fine?
No, it's just fine. Chuck
Okay.
Fine is a compliment.
Is it? I don't think you understand Chuck Fine, Chuck.
I don't think you understand fine.
As the
either.
originator of this concept, I will say that Chuck Fine means, yeah, you should play that.
I'm sorry, you're not the originator of that.
I am.
We decided what Chuck Fine was.
No.
We are the deciders.
Not without me, you didn't.
We did. No, you kept
said
describing
it's
things
fine.
as fine, and we were
We said,
like,
like,
Fast and Furious Showdown is not fine.
It's fine. You can
It's-
play it.
I vowed I'm not bringing that game up anymore. I vowed not to do that.
I mean,
Anyhow.
it's the
All right.
definition of Chuck Fine. But
Then it's less than Chuck Fine then.
Oh,
So it's worse?
broken as shit.
so it's like literally unplayable, and I mean literally.
Crashes on startup.
Oh, you know my Native American
So
name.
So it's like MTV's Pimp My Ride. It crashes at one point, making it literally unplayable.
I played through that game.
Yeah, sure you did. I don't believe you.
You should give it another chance.
Nope.
Ghost Ride the Whip.
I should give it a chance
Yeah,
with my
Ghost Riding the
hammer.
Whip
She
is
goes
great.
right.
It's pretty good.
anyway, speaking of Ghost Riding the Whip,
Sure. I can tie that in, maybe.
Okay.
So, Battlefield 1. You guys know I'm a fan. You also may know that it took like, I don't know, it took like 3 months for the first DLC to come out, 6 more months for the next DLC to come out, and as of this writing, the remaining 2 DLCs have come out within like a month and a half of each other, and that would be Turning Tides and Apocalypse. And I hadn't played any of the Battlefield in a while, and I thought, you know what? There's some DLC. Before the Apocalypse DLC came out, I was like, I need to try the Turning Tides DLC and see what's up. And man, I gotta hand it to DICE. They can make some motherfucking maps. I don't know the state of Star Wars Battlefront at this point, or Battlefront 2, but they do a really, really good job of level design in the multiplayer maps for the DLC. They're just fantastic. Things look and sound awesome. Just hats off to their fucking dev team. They've done a great job. The Turning Tides DLC included a bunch more vehicles, like they're more airships and they're destroyers, and there's some different airplanes, and all of that stuff is cool as shit. And so I played for a couple days and had a lot of fun. And then the Apocalypse DLC came out for the Premium Pass owners. And I happened to have bought the Premium Pass back 60 years ago when the game came out. And so I played it on day one. And I honestly could not tell you a single thing about the maps because I could not get enough time in any of the games that I played to actually, enough time alive to explore at all.
You were just constantly being murdered?
Immediately murdered.
Okay.
Just spawn, run 6 feet, shot down by somebody that level 497 out of 110. And
so
that's...
it was your own apocalypse.
It was my own apocalypse. And I tried to play a couple days later, and I tried to play some, I even tried to play some of the older maps, and man, I think I'm done with Battlefield.
Like all of them, or just that one?
Battlefield 1,
Okay.
yeah.
Like you need to get it on the ground floor again.
Yeah,
Yeah, people have gotten too good.
exactly. People have been playing this game for too long, and they are too good. And within 45 minutes of the maps coming out, they already know everywhere on the map to go to sneak around a corner and shoot me in the back. And I really wish I could experience any of those maps from Apocalypse, because the ones from Turning Tide are so good.
I can't remember. Does Battlefield allow you to do bot matches or something that you could just?
It does not.
No, so there's no practice.
Yeah,
mode thing.
I think you can find an empty server and go into the empty server and run around before the game starts, but honestly, the server browser is so much of a chore.
I mean, with Call of Duties, I would do that all the time. I'd go into whatever quasi single player mode and just be like, give me the dumbest bots because I just want to learn. I want to run around this and figure out where I need to go.
Bunch
If
of
I could-
bots in Nuketown.
Yeah.
If I could do that, I would love to, so that I could actually look at the maps, because there's one of the Turning Tides maps is it's like it's a long skinny map, and it's like a sort of like a submarine base, like proto submarine base, and it's all sorts of interesting. Like one of the flags is a ship that's docked. Maybe it's just a port, whatever you call it. It's a base, a navy base of some sort that has submarine pens, I guess. I was trying to figure out what words to use to describe it. But there's like a ship that's docked there, and one of the flags is that entire ship, and you know run on the planks from the docks to the ship to get on there, and everything looks so fucking cool, and it's so neat to run around in those areas, and they're like there's like a train track that runs the entire length of it. It's just fucking cool as shit. And I really wanted to try to get into some of the new maps, and it feels so inaccessible. Like in a matter of a few days, something turned. Maybe it was the tide.
Maybe your skills were subpar. They
could have been, yeah. But something turned, and I just either I became a scrub or everybody else just got way gooder than me, and I just can't do it. I can't do it anymore. But Apocalypse DLC is out now. You can play it, I guess.
So is that the final one?
That'll be the last one, yeah. And they are Battlefield, whatever the 2018 is. It's coming out in October.
I think it's Incursions, or at least that's the working title.
You may have heard the term Incursions because that's a separate...
Is that part of this?
It's part of Battlefield 1, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Incursions is kind of weird. It's like it's not quite like a hero shooter, but it is a competitive style game, and it uses the same engine as Battlefield 1. It's just a bunch of stuff is changed up, and it's sort of an effort to make a competitive Battlefield 1 multiplayer.
Okay.
Or Battlefield multiplayer. And I don't know enough about it to be able to explain it to you really well, except for like you have 4 or 5 different roles, and it's small teams, so there's like 5 or 6 people on the teams, and you pick from a limited number of roles, and you can only have a certain number of those roles on each team, and each role has certain powers that are nothing like stuff that you can do in the real game, and it's very weapons limited and small maps as well. So that's something that they're trying to work on for the future. I think it's still in what they call CTE, which is the community test environment, and I don't think it's ready for prime time yet, but something they're working on. If you just if anybody wants to look up stuff about it, a YouTuber guy that I follow, Jack Frags, has some really good stuff on Battlefield Incursions that explains it. But
we'll probably just agree the next one's going to be called Battlefield Royale.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, they're the ones I'd like to see. They're the AAA team I'd like to see it, because they do have really cool outside maps that would be... I mean, you know what's going to happen, that one of these AAA people is going to make the PUBG ripoff, and do it better. Yeah. And, I feel like they're maybe the ones that should do it, because they make good open world maps, and they'd be like, hey, that game that everybody likes has 2 maps, we got 16.
Right. Well, they've got the talent to get, like, they get 64 people in a game with no major issues these days. There are bugs and stuff, but they've got a lot of good folks on their team. They got a lot of people doing a lot of really good things over there. So I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know that they'd put it under the Battlefield umbrella, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what they do. I don't have Battle Royale fatigue yet, so.
That was PTS dumb.
I mean, it wasn't really intended to be a pun, but once I started saying it, I just...
I'm shell shook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned PUBG.
I did.
I finally played it.
Yeah. Did you?
I got it on Xbox.
Did you play it on the bone?
People convinced me to get it on Xbox.
Are you mad at those people now?
No.
Just disappointed?
Nah. I mean, if you can get in a group, it's fun. Playing solo kind of blows, but I also have been playing in groups where they're like, all right, we're parachuting out. Second, we can parachute out. And if you're in a group, it doesn't like just one person jumps, hey, everybody's suddenly floating in the air parachuting.
Nope.
It's like, no, you better jump when they say jump, or else you are going to be taking your time getting to where your friends are, which can work sometimes if you are, if like you want to flank someone, or you're just like, all right, I'm just looting everything, every building I come by on the way in. But what really ends up happening is you can't find a fucking vehicle anywhere near where you've landed, and the circle that you need to be at is like a mile away, and so you spend the rest of the round dying trying to outrun the wall that's killing you. And they do that a lot. I don't know why the group I'm with was like, we're doing it, we're just going to the coast. And then
that's a bad idea. That's a poor strat.
you get a lot of shit.
Scrub strat.
You know what? You have a bunch of stuff, and then you don't get to the circle.
I was gonna say it doesn't matter if you have shit or not. If you die to the
Yep.
to the fucking
I make it in more top 10s by having like one gun and 10 rounds than I do being armed to the fucking teeth. Mm-hmm. Because to me, that game is all about being sneaky.
Yeah, but that game also like expects you to know, like, all right, well, this weapon's good with this, and this ammo needs this, and like, I hope you found a backpack because now you're out of stuff, and that's another one where the UX could use some help.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Especially
Yeah.
the looting in UX. Like, I mean, something that you need to do very quickly is tedious. Like,
Yeah.
if something is like, I killed this guy, like, that, go. You know, it's like, it's just no, like, oh, click over here and add attach that to this. And, it's like,
Yeah.
no, I need to be moving.
But I definitely do appreciate the tension of you heard that, right?
Yeah.
You heard that shot over there. Like where was that? Where were we hearing that? And everyone being like, fuck, where did we hear that shot come from?
Plus spatial chat, like, hey, where was that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
I mean, I guess you can kind of cheat that in groups. Can't you just, like, join a public party, or does it not allow for that?
we chatted. Our party just chatted with
Inside
each
party
other.
chat?
Yeah.
Which, does that mean that it's not being broadcast out into the world,
Yes.
I guess? Okay, so that
Yeah.
feels like it's cheating. It feels like you should not be allowed to be in a party. It's like, you must be forced into, if you're talking, we can hear you.
Well, that's in the
Yeah.
No Quarters Battle Royale, releasing 2019.
You know what I'm saying? That just feels like a cheating strategy. But then people just get on Discord or Skype or something like that. And fuck
Yeah,
it all
you're
up,
not going to stop that. But and half the time we're shooting the shit because it's like, all right, I'm looting this building. I'll let you know if I find anything you need. Like, hey, there's a level 2 backpack here if you want it. It becomes that sort of thing. But it's also like, all right, we're running across this field to get to here, and so you're just kind of like stuck being, hey,
How's your weekend?
yeah.
I know.
Hey, you try those new nacho fries yet?
It kind of sucks that there's like a certain level of like people are always going to cheat and something like that. Because I mean, I feel like there should be in one of these games there should be a hardcore like no parties mode. But then, like I said, people would just literally fire up Skype or something on
Yeah.
their phone or not even connect to the Xbox. It's just
Yeah,
or
but
whatever system.
it doesn't help. That game's hard. Killing
Sure.
people is not easy in that game.
Not particularly, no.
Yeah, because it's very easy to empty a clip worth of ammo into a guy or feel like you did, and he's still shooting at you, and you're like, fuck, what the shit? And then you end up trapped in a bathroom, and then they kill you.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
The PUBG experience.
Yeah,
Trapped
Elvis.
in a bathroom, and then they kill you.
Yeah, the CIA killed Elvis. It was the same story. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I get why people like that game. I still don't know why that was the one that captured the zeitgeist. It still baffles me. But
It's just a good streaming game. Like I think it streams better than it plays because it's infinitely enjoyable to watch weird shenanigans happen in that game. Like people launching motorcycles off cliffs and killing somebody in midair or some dumb shit or just dumb
yeah,
things.
I
that
was
happen.
riding in a motorcycle when he jumped off, like basically hit a hill too fast and didn't realize it, and basically rolled it and landed it on my head and killed me immediately.
Right.
And there was also one where we were all dead, and I think it was Knobs was the only one who was left, and he was trying, like the circle had shrunk to this little island, and he was trying to climb up a rock face to get to where the circle would end, and just couldn't make it, and the circle was expanding too quickly, or was shrinking too quickly for him to run around and go up the other side. So he's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to wait here and see what happens. And then some dude just wearing his underwear was jumping around like on the rocks underneath him all of a sudden, like came running up the shore. Like I guess the guy was just like, I'm going to die, so fuck it, man.
Stripping off all my
Yeah,
clothes.
yeah. He's like, I'm going streaking.
I'm going out like it came in, butt naked.
And we're all like, dude, turn around. The fuck is that? And it's just this guy. obviously you don't have guys screaming in the game, but we're all just imagining he's just running around, jumping, screaming, running around with a machete and in his underwear.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Live your best life.
Yep. Well, he
PUBG
lived
Bath
his
Salt Edition.
he lived his best death as well because he was shot promptly.
Aw.
I was
Man.
like, you should have taken your clothes off and attacked him with a machete as well.
Yeah.
Right. 1v1 me, bro.
He died doing what he loved.
Being
Running
shot to
around-
death in his underwear.
Yes, while holding a machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard as shit,
Hard as shit. Cuphead, man. I still haven't beaten Cuphead.
Scrub.
Yeah, I
scrubhead.
I basically unlocked the last area, and that's the one where they go, yeah, you haven't beaten it on normal yet, so go back and beat all the bosses on normal, and then we'll let you into the last world. So, I've been going through the process of doing that. I've found all the coins. I've unlocked everything in the store. I've done a lot of weird side shit, but there are certain bosses in that game that are just a motherfucker. And like the one with the plane, and there's a goddamn robot that you have to kill is fucking evil. Like that level is just, I don't know what it is because I'm normally like way better at the flying levels, but that one is fucking murder. I can't do it. It gets me mad too because I'm like I could watch people on YouTube do it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing you guys are doing, and what you do works and what I do doesn't, and I don't get why. But again, some of the best worlds in that game are in, or some of the best levels in that game are in World 3. And it's just a shame that so many people won't see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a slow, steady climb doing that. But I did find using the lobber and the boomerang one are probably the two best weapons to use in that game.
Why is the boomerang one so good? I'm curious because I've seen people play with the boomerang and hate it.
Because certain bosses, it's almost easier not to face them, like to be running away from them.
Okay.
And the boomerang has more range when you're not facing the boss.
Right.
So it's kind of like it becomes a case of I can keep shooting, and either way I'm facing, I'm still going to hit the boss.
Okay.
And it does more damage than a normal shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you've used the one that gives you 2 extra hearts or 1 extra heart, which means you do less damage, but you have more life, those come in real handy. Like
That makes
that
sense.
dragon level, I don't think I could have beaten the dragon level without using those 2 weapons.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Should I ever play Cuphead, but I will now understand it when I'm watching somebody else play Cuphead.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to play Cuphead.
Yeah. And another random thing that I was like, hey, they made that backwards compatible, and I guess I own it, was Misadventures of PB Winterbottom.
Yeah.
Oh, indubitably.
Yeah.
It sounds like you should say
That's-
PB Winterbottom like this.
That's one of those games where like somebody was like, hey man, I played Braid. I want to make Braid. And so they made Braid.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
is, it's like, I like the style, but it's very much like, just let me play the game. Because there's a lot of, not cutscenes, but like animated scenes with text over them telling the story of PB Winterbottom and how he loves to eat fucking pies and he wants all the pies and he's a greedy son of a bitch who likes pies. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm collecting pies. And I have special powers that let me get more pies.
Mm-hmm.
But
Isn't you clone yourself and then yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, like you can clone yourself, but then you can jump off of yourself, and your clone will keep repeating the action that you've created
Right.
for him. And
I remember playing some of that, and then it got to the point where I was like, "Oh, this is going to get super complicated. I don't want to do any of this."
yeah, it is one of those like you hit a point where you're just like
yeah. It's like my brain is. I don't want to think about where to make the thing go into a time loop.
I
and-
did hit the point where I'm like, I'm old and I need more sleep.
Yeah.
To even consider trying to do this part of this game.
Yeah.
That's my favorite game.
I'm
I'm
old
old,
and I-
need more sleep.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a great
every
game.
game for me.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny is like I can keep banging my head against Cuphead, but like this, like it's like, all right, now make sure that you do this in less than 50 clones. And I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not happening, pal.
Yeah. So, speaking of video games,
Backwards
Sure.
compatibility.
yeah, okay, fine.
Yes.
Games that are backwards compatible. there had been a revelation in one of our chat rooms where we were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that, and I said I should probably play Red Dead Redemption. And everyone went, oh, just started flapping, just like, oh my god, what are you? Why have you not? You should game of the generation. You should totally play it. And I'm like, all right, I'll play it.
Yes,
I agree with that.
affirmative to
It
all
was
of
the
that.
number 2 game of the generation.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so I went back and restarted Red Dead Redemption. I'd played a little of it when it came out. So
Is it X enhanced?
no,
No.
no,
But it still looks damn good.
it looks really good. There's still
I
some.
think it's smoother. I
yeah,
mean, I
there's
think
some magic happening
yeah.
with it.
I don't think that they're like doing anything special. I think it's just you're getting all the frame rate that
Yeah.
you didn't get before.
I'd be honest, if it wasn't for the character's hair, I wouldn't think this was a last gen game. You can always tell last gen by looking at hair.
Yeah, Marston's got some shitty stringy
Oh
hair.
god, it's just pixely and dumb,
Yeah.
and it just moves in weird ways.
You need that tress effects.
Yeah, you really do. It's so I've gotten much further than I got last time. I am currently in the Mexico.
Ooh.
Oh, the Mexico.
I'm kind of getting to the point that I get with every goddamn Rockstar game where I'm like, okay, you're not really pushing me towards an ending here. You're kind of taking your sweet ass time. I'm okay not playing. I keep forcing myself to play it, but
Get to the end.
okay.
Force your way through Mexico and go back to the United States.
Okay, because the section in the United States it seemed like it was dense with stuff. Like, it just seemed like I didn't mind riding from one side of the map to the other because you would encounter, like, 4 weirdos along the way and do their weird, dumb side missions, and they were fun. I even did the one where you had to collect all the goddamn flowers, and then you go to the dude's house, and it's a fucking corpse that he's giving them to, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The game's got a weird sense of humor. It's a Rockstar game, but you get to Mexico and there's just not a lot there. It's. I understand Mexico.
You're doing missions for that one dude.
Yeah,
and that's it.
like I did all the Landon stuff, and he was like, "Okay, dude, see ya." And then I'm like, "Oh, the next dude's on the other end of the map. I got to go over there." So I go all the way over there, and then he's like, "Great, we got a mission to do. It's on the other side of the map where you were." I'm like, "Fuck." So you get on the stagecoach, and at least it does things like when you're going to travel through the map and characters aren't going to talk to you, it gives you the option to just skip it. So that part's cool. So then you get to the other side of the map and you do whatever dumb mission he wants you to do, and they're all like, "Okay, see you back at the base." And then they all just fucking take off, and you're like, I got to go all the way back to the other side of the goddamn map. I know there's fast travel in the game.
I was going to say, light a campfire.
The game does not do a great job of explaining that there's fast travel in the game, but I did figure it out early on. The weird thing about it is that you have to be in certain places to light your goddamn campfire. And sometimes
Can't
you're
be too close to a road, as I recall.
a road
That's about
or
it.
an outpost
Yeah.
or any, but like sometimes you're just in this giant complex of something, and it takes like 8 tries. It's like, am I out of this yet? Am I in the land where I can light a goddamn campfire? So I don't know. I'm pushing through Mexico as best I can. Last night I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking do this. I'm gonna play this for hours and hours and hours and get as close to the end as I could. And I did like 2 missions. I was like, oh man, this is just.
I seem to remember, like, whatever the first town there was. Like, I actually had, like, because you could catch the stagecoach, but that was slower, and I think it cost money, whereas, like, fast travel was free.
Yes.
I think I remember, like, this one path I would take out of town, and, like, one cactus, and I was like, if I go 2 feet past this, I am in, like, place I can make a campfire and
Right.
fast travel.
Yeah.
That was faster than taking whatever inside the town was. Like, I had this, okay, I'm here, like, get just this far, and
Yeah.
it was less time than doing anything else.
And see, I loved roaming around that world.
I
fucking loved it.
I very much enjoy the world. I enjoyed it more in the States just because it just seemed like there was always something happening. Mexico is just so desolate. And I get that. I mean, I understand it because Mexico is and was desolate, and there just wasn't, they weren't packing them in like like America was at that time trying to, figure out what it was doing. But just for a video game, it's like, it just goes from action-packed to lackadaisical. It's just kind of like, and it's also got that Mass Effect thing of, like, Marsden just keeps saying, like, yeah, my wife and kid are being held hostage. I got to do this thing. I'm just going to play horseshoes. It's like, dude, fucking what?
Man.
Like, hurry the fuck up.
5-finger fillet.
Yeah.
Fucking play it, man.
Liar's Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Liar's Dice is good.
I know.
too.
I love
Oh.
fucking Liar's Dice.
God damn it! I'm gonna play this game again.
I know.
I just
You
know
need-
it.
Just Chuck, trust me. You need to get to the end of the
Yeah,
game.
I figured because 2's coming out here in a few months, so
Yeah.
I'm like,
The last mission in Mexico is pretty great, and
Okay.
then going back to the U.S.
Yeah.
like the whole path through to the end of that game is great.
but I mean, it sure felt like when I was getting to the final mission in the States before going to Mexico, when it's like, okay, you've gotten all your buddies together, let's storm this fort. Here's your Gatling gun, let's fuck it up. And I'm like, man, this seems like end game. I'm fucking here. Let's fucking do this. And then you get in, and the guy's like, he ain't here.
Yeah.
You got to go to Mexico. And I'm like, man, really? Come on. At that point, I kind of felt like I could just say I finished Red Dead Redemption right here. I did most of the things.
No. No.
Okay. I'll keep playing.
Do you like the song when you
Don't
cross
chuck
the
out,
bridge
Chuck.
to Mexico?
Yeah, that was nice.
It's a good moment.
Yeah.
It's not the best moment.
Yeah, but it's a good moment.
Best moments still come.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Like top 5 favorite video game moments ever,
Okay.
easily.
No. And then when you get through that, you can play Undead Nightmare.
That's the plan.
Undead Nightmare is great.
Yeah.
It's so good too. You can get the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
riding
see
around
that
on
fire
fucking
mare going around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
death is God. It's so good.
Okay.
That's the black one with the flames, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also a
Leaves
rainbow.
flaming hoof prints,
There's a rainbow unicorn one you can get as well.
Oh, that's nice.
which is almost as fucking cool as
Yeah.
death.
Wouldn't the white horse be death? The pale horse? Its name
There's a
was Death?
pestilence one that like
Or nightmare. Or
stuff
whatever that
rots
thing's called.
around it as it runs by.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good too.
All of those are really good.
Yeah, they
Undead
did it.
Nightmare is so good.
It's great. It's great.
That whole game is so fucking good.
I have to admit, like, at one point, I got on a train to go somewhere, and I just let the thing go. I just, like, let the game show me its cinematic train ride across the country, because I was just like, this is kind of cool. Like, it's obviously not as dense as any of the Grand Theft Auto games, but this world somehow feels more alive than those do. Those feel like
yeah.
algorithms, and this feels like weird random-ass shit that you would probably run into in the country, because, like, I'm fuzzy on the day-night cycle, how it works. It just seems like time doesn't move until you go into a mission, and then suddenly it just jumps to whatever time it's supposed to be.
Well, when it's dark, that's nighttime, and when it's day,
Yeah.
that's daytime.
Okay.
Daytime.
Yes.
Nighttime.
But so I'm outside in the dark, just kind of like strolling along, like, wow, check out this cactus, check out these things. This is sweet. And fucking bobcat out of nowhere just starts
Yeah.
ripping my face off, and I'm like, oh shit. So, yeah, it's
That's the Old West, man.
I know. Yeah.
You got to be able to literally defend yourself.
Yes. I killed it.
Good.
Good.
Skinned
You
it.
skinned it. Yeah.
Got that skin. Yeah, and Marston's just like, oh god, this is the what the.
God, I love that game so fucking much.
And
I cannot wait.
And to be fair, like I don't know how much GTA 5 you played. That place is fucking alive too.
Oh yeah, I played about 20 hours of that before I.
I'm saying like you could walk down.
Yeah.
Walking down the street in GTA 5 is kind of amazing.
Yes, I'm kind of comparing it to 4
Yeah.
because they were
4's
both
weird.
of that era, and Marston is kind of a piece of shit, but
Oh, yeah.
you can steer him clear of a lot of shit. Really, like you can make him kind of all right. Whereas Nico is just, I just fucking hate Nico with
Yeah.
the fury of 1,000 suns.
Nico isn't bad. Are you talking about?
His cousin is back.
Yeah.
Nico's bad because it's so schizophrenic about how his character's all like, I want out of this, and then but the player urgency is to just run over hookers and murder everything, and it's just like you can't.
I mean,
there's no.
it gives you the agency to do that, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like it's not directly rewarding you for that sort of behavior unless
know.
you're like.
It just
unless
seems-
your pleasure centers are activated by wanton destruction, which most people are.
It just seems like when Marsden runs someone off the road, he's immediately like, "Sorry, I really didn't mean to do that. Excuse me, sir."
Yeah, and his voice, I love his
Oh,
voice.
yeah.
He's
His voice
yeah,
is so perfect.
it's real good.
Especially talking to like Bonnie, like when he's still formal with Bonnie. Like I don't know why I love that Marston the most. Just like, well, I don't know, Miss
Yeah.
McFarlane, you know, like,
Yeah.
just like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it's a good game. I see why people like it. I'll push my way through Mexico and I'll finish that fucking game.
You will like it.
Okay.
Can I take a quick detour? I know it's not on the list, but just a quick detour. Something that you reminded me of. A weird thing that I have discovered on the internet relating to Rockstar games.
Oh, okay, good.
GTA 5 roleplay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
So get this. I don't know if you guys remember a few months ago there was there's a big uproar where Take-Two tried to shut down this mod software for GTA 5 called 5M.
I remember that. Okay.
Well, there are people out there who use 5M to get into like a group game with each other. And it's actually based on the single player map somehow. There's like servers that you can join.
All right, it didn't affect multiplayer at all. That's why they were like,
right.
why are you shutting us down? Who cares?
This is multiplayer in the sense that there are multiple players in, but it has no effect on...
Not part of GTA Online at all.
Correct. It's not part of GTA Online at all. So there are people who just go into that world, sign onto these servers, and just roleplay characters. Like, you can... They've, like, fully tricked out the server, so there's all sorts of mod tools where you can, like... There are jobs that you can have. You can go... You can be a criminal. You can be a police officer. You can be a news guy. Or you can be a cab driver or whatever. And these people also broadcast themselves doing this on Twitch sometimes. And it is wild and fascinating. Absolutely bizarre. And I just sort of stumbled upon this because I got linked from a friend who's like, "Hey, watch my friend on Twitch." I'm like, "All right, sure." And
Wow, you're easy.
yeah, well, you know, somebody who's
Click here for a free iPod Shuffle.
Yeah, I'm there. I've already clicked it. I want that excellent rectangle. But no, a friend of mine sent me a link. Somebody whose opinion I trust. And I watched this. This lady roleplay this weird cop, and now I'm like, and she was actually investigating a murder, like, and then another murder happened. Like, her prime suspect got murdered, and so now she's investigating 2 murders, and it's my new favorite TV show. And I cannot stop watching it whenever she's doing this. But it's a fucking weird thing. Look for TLSRP, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
The
TLS
Los Santos
Slarping?
No, what is it? It's not Los Santos, is it?
I forget what it stands for. It is, the area is Los Santos.
Yeah,
but
the Los Santos roleplay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
TLS.
I remember, I want to say it was with GTA 4 that modders had made like a...
True Los Santos RP.
That makes sense. Modders had made like a similar type world, but you had to role play. You had to be law abiding. Like, you couldn't speed. You couldn't, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember. Yeah, there were
A mod to the regular game.
Yeah. Where it was just like, okay, you can play this, but you have to obey. You have to be like an actual human.
Right.
And people were really fascinated with what these people were doing. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to do this virtual? Just do it. It's just go out in public and don't speed. I mean,
Yeah. Well, in this, you can, like...
Yeah, this seems to be
like,
taking a step further.
It's like real life, where, I mean, as long as there are no cops around, you can do almost what you want. Pro tip for young gamers. Young RL gamers. Smoke whatever weed you
Time
want.
for some game theory.
Yeah.
But,
Laws are fake, man.
right.
They're just constructs we created.
Right. Exactly. They're just words on paper.
Now you see
man.
the violence inherent in the system.
Yeah.
I'm being oppressed.
Arm the proletariat.
But like occasionally there are systems whereby they call the NPCs or the non-player characters or the they call them locals.
Okay.
So it's
Don't
just
harass the locals.
It's just it's an in-game way to not say NPCs to
Right.
stay in character. But locals can report crimes. Like if you're shooting, locals will call 911 to report gunshots. You'll get 911 will be called if you try to steal a car, or if you try to sell drugs to a local, they'll call 911.
Yeah.
So weird shit like that, and it is just a fascinating universe. And do you guys mind if I plug the Twitch channel of the person that I watch?
If you know it, go ahead.
Okay. So the person that I watch, her name is Kaypocalypse, Kaypocalypse. like Apocalypse, but with K in front of it.
Oh, I didn't see it before. Now I see it.
Right.
All makes sense now.
Look, I'm just trying to help people out. Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
But she role plays this Deputy Strange, and sometimes it's hilarious. It's always fascinating. But you can also just look up TLSRP, search for it on the Googles or on Twitch. It's weird stuff, and I had to tell more people about it.
Well,
So
it's a good thing you have this podcast.
yeah, I know. So now back to our regularly scheduled document of
Okay.
It's just
talking.
it's weird that you guys are making me think about, open world like GTA and Red Dead, in that I haven't gone into a Rockstar game in almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
Like since GTA 5 came out, and I played it that month before I got married, and then I got married, and video games, I couldn't do that anymore. But it seems weird, like to know that it's been that long since we've had a proper Rockstar open world game like that, and it's just been them selling GTA Online shit. Whereas, you think about like GTA 4 came out in 2008, and then Red Dead came out in 2010, and that was 2013, and now it's just like that timeline keeps stretching further and further out.
Yeah, which is why I'm suspecting Red Dead Redemption 2. Sorry, I still have a problem with that. It's going to just be this massive thing, just
Yeah, it's going to be obscene.
ungodly, massive,
Yeah.
huge thing that
I
Yeah.
hope so.
I know. Yeah,
I should go back to GTA 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Did you ever finish the story?
No.
Oh man.
No, I got through like the first couple heists, and then
it's
life
fun.
took over.
I need to also
Because when we actually played, like we would get online and we'd do like jets versus bikes and shit like
Right.
that. And I wouldn't even play the actual game itself. I was like, no, I'm just gonna do this dumb shit online.
I recommend, by the way, these days you must play with your friends. Don't get into a fucking public lobby. You're just asking to be griefed to death
Yeah.
if you play in an
It's that
open
bad,
lobby.
huh?
Yeah, it's just that's the way people feel like they have to play that game.
Yeah, and I keep wanting to get it on Xbox, but they keep being like, well, we're selling the bundle with the Mega Shark card, all this, whatever it is. And,
they
and,
sell
like,
the base game all the
85.
time.
Yeah,
all
but
the
it's
time.
always $30.
That's the thing.
Well,
They
yeah.
never
And
drop the
I-
price
I-
lower than $30.
Yeah.
Ever. And I got the PS4 version back like at launch. I think I got it for that Christmas.
Yeah.
And I've never even booted that version up yet. So I don't know, man.
Well, get ready
It's
for a
weird.
900 gig patch if you decide to boot it up. So
Yeah,
just
I know.
just put the disc in like Monday morning when you know you won't be able to
Come
get to
back a
video
few
games
days
until
later.
the next Monday.
Yeah.
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 But anyway, weird stuff in GTA.
Uh-huh.
Red Dead Redemption is still amazing.
It is. It's a good game.
Finish the fight, Chuck.
Okay. I
You know
will.
what else is still amazing?
Video games.
Racing games.
Racing games are pretty good. I got a couple to talk about. Split Second went backwards compatible.
Oh man, split second.
That game's fucking awesome. I had never finished it. I didn't finish the story mode back
Yeah?
in the day. I got to a point where I think I had gotten to a point where I could not progress. Like I couldn't get better at any of the races, and therefore I couldn't get to the next,
Yeah.
tier of races. So
Because you had to have like a certain number of first place finishes
yeah,
or something.
you had to
or
have
enough
certain points
worth
or
of finishes.
yeah. So I went back and I think I gave up at the time because I was like, okay, I've done enough of this. I don't want to do it anymore. Well, that was, I don't know, 7 years ago.
So old.
And, did like the first tier races again. I was like, man, this is a blast. I'm really enjoying this. And then was immediately better at a lot of the other races and was able to get to the end of it and do the crazy shit, of the last few races of that game. That fucking game ends with a cliffhanger ending.
I know.
Like, what on earth?
they were optimistic.
Your weird combat racing game ends with this like invasion force comes in, like some rival network of combat racing has invaded your combat racing league, and they're like, "Oh shit, cut to commercial," and then they just slap "to be continued" up on the screen. It's just fucking nuts. But Split Second, man, it's colorful, it's gorgeous, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's so fast, and it's just name another game where you're driving along and you can drop a freaking battleship on somebody.
I know.
I'd forgotten just how intense like all the destruction was in that.
Yeah, you're almost not. It's bad to be in first place.
Yes.
In that game.
Oh, yeah.
It is very bad to be in
You're
first
gonna
place.
get just fucking wrecked.
You'll get murked quick.
Yes. So, but man, I cannot recommend
But,
Split Second enough. It's so good.
The design of some of those maps amazes me.
Yeah.
Because like some of them, I think it's the battleship. Like if you time it right, you can end up driving through the wreckage itself.
Yes.
Like on certain paths, and there are branching paths in there.
Yep.
In this battleship that is literally sliding off the side of whatever the hell they dropped it off of.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
And now I want to go back to play Blur again because that was the whole rivalry, the Blur Split Second
Yeah.
fight, and they both just nerfed each other to
Yeah, well, Blur
game.
killed itself by having a beta that gave you everything you could have wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, like a few weeks before release, and then, the game came out, and everyone's like, if you played the beta, you probably got all you needed out of this.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Another game, Grid 2, which is also backwards compatible. There's nothing super special about it. It's just it's a nice solid racing game. The drift mechanics in it are a little strange, but once you pick up on how they work, it feels pretty natural. The only thing that stands out that's kind of worth extra talking about Grid 2 is that in the story mode, there's like some detached voice that's walking you through everything, telling you like, hey, you're doing great, and now join this race, and we're gonna our racing league's gonna be amazing. And the person kept calling me Carlos, and I'm like, why the fuck are you calling me Carlos? Like, what do you do? How do you? That's close, but like, why? And I'd forgotten it was one of those games where at the beginning, like, it gives you like this wall of names that you can choose from for the game to call you, and I'm like, why did I pick that? What dumbass? Like, Charles is right there, but I was like, nah, call me Carlos. I'm a fucking idiot. So that was
Fucking
just
idiot.
yeah, that was just amusing to me. But hey, guess what comes out in like 3 weeks? It's Burnout Paradise time.
Get hyped!
Yeah,
Well, what's this Burnout Paradise? I don't recall us ever talking about this before.
it's a video game by this company called EA. And they'd made a bunch of Burnout games before.
Sure.
But then they made the best one.
Then they made this one, which is kind of fundamentally different from the other ones that they made before it. A lot of people hated it.
Because they're idiots.
Those people were wrong.
They're all wrong.
Right.
It's literally the best.
Literally the best.
It is the best racing game. It is
Yeah.
super fast, and the music is awesome.
Right.
And you
Tons
can get
of
like
awesome licensed music.
and you can get like 8 of your friends and do a bunch of jumps and stunts and
Yeah.
shit.
Do you think?
it's ringing a slight bell?
Hey,
Also-
do you think Forza Horizon is cool?
It's pretty cool, yeah.
This is way fucking better.
This is where Forza Horizon learned to be cool, only
Yeah.
they weren't paying enough attention.
Do you want a
Also-
flying DeLorean?
I sure do. Oh yeah.
Goddamn right.
Hey, DJ Atomica here.
That's right.
You want to crash through one of those billboards? All right.
There's
DJ Atomica out.
there's a permanent announcer in the game that at the time we all thought was annoying as fuck. But as time has gone on, he's really helpful and nice.
Yeah.
and a fun person to revisit with. And I hope he's still in this version of the game.
Man, if they strip DJ Atomica out, I'm flying to Redmond, and I'm going to hit Bill Gates with a stick
Well,
until he puts it back in there.
People were panicking.
I don't know
that,
why
like,
it has anything to do with it, but
people were panicking that like Paradise City wasn't going to be in it.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the trailer, so like everyone
Yeah.
like that settled everyone's fears.
Was DJ Atomica in the trailer?
No.
they
Looking
better
for,
have
like, a
included pretty much all the music because something is going to piss somebody off if it's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
I mean,
they are
look-
including all of the DLC, which is
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
The game is backwards compatible on the 360. It has been $2 for the like every time there's a set. It has been infinitely cheap so many times. So if they do fuck up this remaster in some way, shape, or form, at least that is still readily accessible and still there.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't even know how much they can improve it, because that thing runs at a solid 60 frames all the time.
Well, I don't know what they did to the visuals, but that trailer didn't look great. Like the car models look like you would think they look. Like looking at it was not like, oh my god. It was just, and I don't really care as long as it still runs the same.
Yeah.
I just want to do it all again.
If it runs, because there was always just every once in a while you'd glitch out or lag out, not lag out, but you'd just glitch or lag.
Right.
And if they just fixed that and let me,
Yeah.
let me play it without having to put the disc in.
Yes.
Those are the things I need. So
I'm interested to see how they'll handle the camera stuff. Like if they will, because that
Change those achievements.
Well, I mean, you had that dumb Xbox Live camera, and now we've gotten to the point where everyone had a camera, and now no one has a camera again because it was like mandatory Kinect. No Kinect ever. Not even a port
Well,
for
and
it
it didn't
anymore.
work with the Kinect anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm wondering.
I've got the camera.
Yeah.
I think
You
it's
got
a
my
Mackey's.
camera.
Yeah. That's why I said
gave
the
it to
camera.
you for Burnout.
Yes.
For getting the
getting those
snapshots.
achievements. Yeah, yeah.
That's why I said the camera. We can just pass it around.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated to see. Those are the things I care about, like the details of it. Like I'm sure it's going to run fine. I'm sure it'll look okay. But it's like, is all the music still there? Is DJ Atomica still there? What are you doing about the camera? So
Yeah.
But man, I know I could just restart my copy that I have right now. I don't want to do that. I just want to jump in with a whole bunch of people who are also starting all over again and just do it that way.
I'm honestly looking forward to, and I've done it within the last 2 years, but I'm looking forward to working my way through the licenses again. So and unlocking all the cars and doing all the time trials, like the street time trials,
Yeah.
and all the fucking dumb midnight races. All of that shit I'm looking forward to again. I loved it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like the leaderboard popping up on the top of the screen
Yeah.
saying like, all right, who beat your time on this street?
It seems like we finally caught up to a point where those make sense because like not everyone had their 360s online at that time, and now just like every console pretty much has to be online all the time.
Yeah.
So it seems like that always online leaderboard type mentality that the game had when it first came out finally makes sense now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I want to do that dumb thing where you just hit both bumpers and start rolling like
It
fucking
was
Katamari.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime
Yeah.
mode, I believe.
Yeah. Which that wasn't in the game originally, right?
It was added in a patch
Okay.
along with the motorcycles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the classical station.
Right.
Yeah, they were just
Classic
like, well,
PlayStation
we don't have
fucking
crash mode, but here's this.
Well,
Yeah.
they had that. Basically, they had a year of free DLC.
That's right.
That they were one of the first things to do that, where it's just like, all right, new stuff.
Yep.
And then eventually there was a point where like, all right, well,
Here's this.
now you got to pay for the cops and robbers shit.
Yeah.
Were all the old Burnout tracks over there originally, or was that one of the things they added later?
I think that was a patch.
I think that was a patch thing too. Like, here's from Burnout.
Oh, the
Revenge.
instrumental.
Well, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the
Stuff
yeah
from
the
Burnout.
electronica
The
stuff
music.
from like the
2
older
and
ones.
3
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
That game,
And that you can still fucking play that game online with people.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Like there's
You and I have both revisited it within the last year and a half.
yeah.
Like when it went backwards compatible, we were
Yeah,
both
we
like,
both fired it up, yeah.
yeah, I got to play this. And it was still like, man, this is great.
The greatest of all
Yeah.
time.
I got lost in Big Surf Island because that's like the one I was not totally used to being in that area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, wait, where does this go? And then it's like, yeah, there's this big kind of highway that loops around the entire thing. But then once you get into the middle of the city, like it's easy to get lost. But
Yep.
God,
And you can drive through a mountain and do the most fucking insane jump over that bridge.
mm-hmm.
God, that game is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, the other thing to be hyped about is that, for the longest time, EA was like, no, we're not remastering anything ever. Fucking eat a dick, you guys. You can't have it. And, now it's like, okay, well, if you're remastering this, let's remaster that Mass Effect stuff.
yeah. Give us that Mass Effect trilogy. Just get on with it.
Yeah. Everyone who was complaining about games being nothing but remasters was still begging you to redo the Mass Effect games. So let's just do it. Come on. You're not making new games, EA, so just redo your old ones and we'll be there. So
Don't put loot boxes in them.
they've already said 0 microtransactions in
Give
this.
me another NBA Jam.
Yeah.
I mean, or give me a remastered tournament edition with old and new rosters.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Like, let me play the 92 or whatever it is rosters plus, new people, I guess. Or,
I mean,
Yeah, Chris Corciani.
why not just add all the different rosters that they had? Just like,
Yeah.
let me play with whichever roster set I want. Like, regular tournament edition.
I mean, the
Other
on
tournament
fire
edition.
thing or whatever. It was just originally just called NBA Jam, I guess. But then they had the on fire edition. It grew on me. Like, I mean, it wasn't as good as the old NBA Jams, but it definitely
was
grew
all right.
It grew on me
Yeah.
over time. I had to put some hours into it, so give me another one.
Yeah.
Which one had the Beastie Boys? Was it On Fire or was it the original NBA Jam that they put out?
I don't think it was NBA. I don't think it was.
Or I shouldn't say original. The
Yeah, it
the
might-
first.
I don't
new
know
NBA
that
Jam.
it was. You mean like was it from the new ones? I mean, I thought I remember that maybe they showed up in like
Yeah, I think they're
one of the
new
later ones, like Hang Time or Showtime
Yeah,
or
because
something.
like
like
the
that.
original ones were like Bill Clinton was in there.
Right.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, come on, EA. Do the thing. Do what we want you to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Chuck said.
Yeah.
So you guys want to hear an email?
I'd love to hear an
Oh,
email.
shit.
Yes,
Yes.
we are surprised.
Yeah.
We are aghast at an email.
Jay from Vegas wrote.
Oh.
He's very consistent about.
Okay.
He's like, hey, you guys are doing no quarters. Here's an email.
All right.
I have thoughts.
Lay it
Okay.
on us, brother.
He says, port everything to Switch. Hey, no quarters crew. Jay from the prequel to Fallout New Vegas here, and I will admit I am unique in that I gladly paid $60 each for the Doom 2016 and Skyrim ports on Switch and fell right back into both of them. The ports aren't perfect. Doom runs like garbage in ultraviolence, battery life is reduced by about 2 hours, and the Switch heats up to uncomfortable levels. But it's a small price to pay for portable demon slaying. There's something about having my games portable in such an easy-to-use format that makes me want them all that way, which makes me wonder if Sony's looking at the Switch and asking, what the fuck did we do wrong with PSP and Vita? I'd love to know if there are any games you'd like to see ported to Switch. Personally, I want Nuclear Throne, Slime Rancher, and GTA 5 because I'll replay all of those again if I can take them with me anywhere. I know I can't be the only one who put 100 hours into Stardew Valley on Steam and another 150 hours on the Switch version. Anyways, I look forward to your new episode, and I hope you hit that ramp. Ghost Ride the Joy-Con, Jay. Sent from my barely touched copy of Super Mario Odyssey because Mario isn't as compelling as old games I already beat on other platforms.
I like that Jay references our classic memes.
Yes. Maymays. They're memes, sir. Memes.
Nay, nay, they are memes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Switch is people like they don't care about 1080p, they don't care about 4K. They're like, "Nah, I want to take it with me."
People who are into the Switch are into the Switch.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
for
all
them.
I'm all about that. I mean,
Do you take your Switch with you?
I don't. I mean, I it's weird because I actually kind of want the opposite. To me, my hope for the Switch was, all right, look, the DS, 3DS, all of those were great systems, but fuck it, make it go away and let me play those games on the big screen. Like I'm mad that we still don't have a Pokemon RPG on the Switch. I don't even care if it's an old one. You know, give me one of those remastered like red, blue, yellow, gold ones. You know, whatever. Like, give me those. I'll even play those on the TV.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
I
making
just-
one.
Yeah, I know it's coming. It's just like that's the thing. I was like, thank you for having one system now. Give me the games that like I just never understood like that they put these 30, 40-hour RPG games on a portable. You know,
It's
like
for the kids riding in cars.
I know, just like why there's never been a other than emulation. There's never been a Pokemon game that you can sit and play on your couch when that's where you probably should be playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
Wait a
sitting
minute,
there.
weren't there Pokemon games on the 64?
No, not
Like
not
Pokemon Snap
not the RPGs.
Coliseum.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got
Not the, I mean, the true Pokemon game is the RPG.
The true Pokemon.
Well, I mean, that's when you say Pokemon games,
I know.
that everything else
Yeah.
is like an offshoot.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just making
the ones
making
where you
sure.
have got to catch them all.
right.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
I sat with my 3DS, 75% of it sitting in my chair with a 3DS, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid, but I'm still playing it. You know, like, like there's a big TV right there, put it there. So, no, but I mean, it's cool that people like. I mean, just I don't generally have situations where I can or need to take gaming with me. Like my job doesn't allow for it. It's like I can't sit there and game when I'm at
Yeah,
work.
I used to take my Vita to work, and that got shut down.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, that's
I
because
used
you
to
were fucking
remote
with the
play it.
microwave.
Yeah.
There was the microwave.
You were
It was-
interrupting the microwave.
But remote play, like I used to remote play all the time, and I haven't done a remote play thing in fucking ages now.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see like going traveling. It'd be cool. Like if I I'm in the middle of a game, just picking it up and taking it with me.
And
I mean, I get that the Switch is a whole entirely different audience for various reasons. People want portable for, ease or one
Well-
TV or,
the reason it works over the Vita or the PSP is you don't have to change the control schemes.
right.
Like it's the same control scheme as you'd use on the big screen and you
it's-
can use there.
and it's
that
one
was
purchase.
yeah, and
It's
that was,
not as a port of something.
yeah, and that was always my problem with even remote play on Vita is like having stuff on, touching the back pad to do this or having to touch the bottom left or right corners of the screen to do a stick click, and it doesn't. Some games translated okay to it, but other ones were just like, nope. Like why are you even trying to do this?
Yeah.
And that's what the Switch got right. Is it's like, all right, yeah, here is your home console version of controls on a portable system, and not like, all right, well, we don't have all the triggers, and you might do the start buttons over here. None of that shit. It's like, no, everything's where you want it to be, and the game plays the same as it would if you were playing it on a big TV.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we can hope for is that if Microsoft or Sony want to get back into the handheld market, they look at, like, even if it's not the same system, because I don't think they'll go that route because the boxes will need to be bigger to keep up the power that they want to have in their systems. I don't think it'll be a universal thing like the Switch, but make a portable version that uses the same media. Like, literally, like, here's the Xbox Go, and it's a little thing that, like, because the next Xbox and PlayStation need to do away from optical media. I mean,
they're not gonna.
it either needs to be 100% downloadable, or you get an SD card type thing like the Switch cartridges are, and you pop that in your console if you just don't want to download it or you want to resell it or whatever. But you can also put it in this thing or download it to this thing, and
Yeah.
that's the only way it's going to work. Is like, here's a lesser experience. It's going to be capped at 1080p and not the 4K or whatever that this is, but take the same game and cloud save it.
It's just it's so interesting to me how everyone was like, well, the portable market's dead because people have fucking phones.
Yeah.
And then the Switch came along and everyone's like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
100% not that.
Well, the portable market is dead because Sony, they're still selling 3DSs and 4DSs and whatever. But
Yeah, like the 3DS
Sony-
had one of its best years last year.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
But like that kind of flies under the radar. And the fucking Vita got killed by the fact that they are fucking highway robbing people for the storage
Yeah,
media.
storage. There's a 64 gig card that's on Amazon.
What is it,
It's
$300?
$88.
yeah, I've had
It's
it on
about
my
the-
wish list for 5 years.
It's about the cheapest I've ever seen it is
Yeah.
$88. But I'm still like, man, I might get that because I have the 32 gig, which at the time was the biggest you could get, and I spent like $100 something to get that.
Yep.
And that fucker's always full. Like I'm always like on something like Uncharted. The Uncharted game is like 4 gigs. Which I mean, this is a portable game,
Right.
But it's like
Yeah.
4 gigs.
Well, the thing
and
that
you get a few of those, and the fucker's full.
the thing that kills me about that is Sony literally made a memory card format. They made memory
Yeah.
stick and then memory stick tiny or plus or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yep.
And it's like, no, it doesn't use that. Like, here's a media format that we literally proprietarily created for other products like cameras and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're not going to use that, and that's a standard.
I
It's like, fuck you. Just like,
I
The
think
other
they
thing is,
were.
you were already dicks in that you didn't use SD or just something.
Yeah, but they were spooked because the PSP had just rampant piracy on it. Like it had just gotten, it was nothing but a handheld piracy machine. It was like those Korean, the
Oh, the cool baby.
no,
Oh, you mean like the GDX or whatever?
those things.
GP2X.
Yeah, those things that were all the rage for about a year and a half. I mean, that was basically the PSP. You look them up, and it's just like you go to eBay and get one, and it's like loaded with 32,000 games. You're just like, holy god, just.
But still, I mean, like, it's going to cost you so much. Like, it had to cost them. Well, I guess they already had the R&D done to develop their Memory Pro Duo Stick Plus, whatever it is that they use. But you can't be making money on those things. There's no way that they can be making enough money on those
they
things
didn't.
to justify
Yeah,
its
no,
use
they did
on
not.
the memory itself.
Yeah, I was going to try. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm not necessarily saying put the media, like the games, on a standard kind of media, but like the storage for your saves.
Yeah.
That still allows people to rip and make. I don't know enough. I mean, that's like your Vita memory card is not the same as the Vita game.
Yes.
You know.
It's a different card.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, so why can't the memory storage thing be a standard, like an SD card or
Because
whatever?
that's how people were cracking
That's
PSP encryption.
Okay. Well, you know what? Just at the end of the day, you have to realize, like, people are going to do that regardless.
This was the age of we have to go all out. I mean, like, they don't even put security stickers on games anymore. Like, this was like, okay, let's start putting one security sticker on a game. No, let's put 3 fucking security stickers on it. And now we're at the point where it's like, who cares?
It's
like,
barely even shrink wrapped anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, you know,
They're just going to beat it and return it.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
on
executives, that was that era of just like, stop piracy at all costs. Piracy is the thing. And now it's like you hardly even hear about piracy.
yeah,
and
or DRM,
Yeah.
like all that shit that
It's
like,
like-
was breaking games.
you mostly don't hear about piracy because no one is screaming about it anymore.
Still happening.
Because everyone
Yeah.
knows they're still making shit tons of money.
Right. Yeah.
And even if they make shit tons of money, they still like basically say, "Oh, we didn't sell enough." You know, you think about Tomb Raider being the classic example where they're like, "Yeah, we needed to sell like 10 million copies and we only sold 7."
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't
they-
know if you're going to get a sequel. And it's like, fuck off.
Like, why would you in any world think that was going to sell 10 million? I could have told you it wouldn't, and I'm not any kind of analyst.
Yeah.
I would have said it would have sold about 4 and it would be a big hit. Idiots.
But I do wonder, like, if the Switch has made Sony and Microsoft reevaluate what they're doing. Because I mean,
I would hope so,
Microsoft.
because I mean that literally is just like, here's a micro SD card. Go to town, buy whatever you want, as long as it's whatever
Yeah.
SD8XC or whatever the fuck compatible.
Well, how long has the Switch been out?
Almost a year.
Almost a
just
year?
About a year.
But like
Nobody's
it's all,
cracked it yet.
But it's already outsold like the Wii U.
yeah.
Whatever
Oh, yeah.
the Wii U you did in 4 years.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
I
it's
think
not
too
a
tough.
high
I could do
bar
that in
to-
a couple months.
Yeah. Wii
Yeah.
U.
Yeah, but it's
I've
just a
outsold
case
the Wii
of like I wonder because I would kill for a fucking Xbox portable.
Yeah.
If you're like, all right, even if it's only like, hey, that one stuff will be downgraded, but it'll run like a 360. I'd be like, yeah, how much?
If I had a portable
Give me
360
this.
with my current digital library on it, that
Oh
would be
my
fucking
God.
rad.
Oh
If
my
I had
God.
all my digital 360 games on a portable unit right now, that would be fucking rad.
I would never leave the bathroom.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Like, Jen, leave me alone. I'm in the bathroom.
I am
Is that what pooping back and forth forever is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just sitting there playing Xbox
Yep.
forever.
Yep.
But yeah, and that's the thing is like consoles now, they don't even care about piracy. Honestly, like I know so many people that do game sharing where they're just like, all right, your home console's actually my account and my home console is your account, and they just share games. All like, it's amazing.
well, I mean, how many?
And they don't even care.
well,
You
it's
know
like,
why?
Yeah.
Them microtransactions make an EA $4 billion.
Yeah. But I mean, like, how many people? I mean, everyone shares their Netflix password, their Amazon password, their Hulu password. Like, everyone shares that shit, and no one is screaming about it anymore. Like, every once in a while, a Netflix executive will go, "Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that," and everyone goes, "Fuck you," and then you never hear about it again. It's not like it was 5 or 10 years ago where everyone is just going fucking nuts about how everyone's stealing everything, which I feel it's kind of unfortunate that everyone just accepted it and just like, yeah, everyone's going to steal everything. What are you going to do? But that's where they are now, and they've moved on. So
Well, Netflix did things like they sort of just included it in your plans. Like, all right, you're sharing it anyway, so
yeah,
this plan you get 4 people. Any more than 4
Exactly.
people, and just
Yeah.
fucking
And
stop.
it's even
please.
4 simultaneous. It's not
Right,
even like-
simultaneous. Yeah, share your password as much as you want.
Yeah.
Just 4 simultaneous.
just you have to coordinate it.
Right.
You guys work out your calendar.
Text your
We're
friend.
just letting you know.
Text your friend. You binge watching?
You up? Because I'm going to watch some Netflix, and I don't want you to kick me off.
you need to chill with the Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad the Switch has made portable gaming a consideration again.
Well, I think it's more like
I'm so popular at rooftop parties now.
I think
I
it's
do
more-
love that none of the games that like would have that they tried to sell that system on initially.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck.
No.
Like like, hey, it's like the Wii and you can do this, and everyone's like, no, we
No.
did that already.
No.
No thanks.
like I
Get
think
your kickstand. Get the fuck out of here.
I think it's like the model. Like I think people are like kind of more embracing the Steam model. Like it's better to sell a billion copies at a cheap price than it is to sell a tenth of that at full price. And if you make it more consumer friendly, the people will follow it and like legitimately give you money. It may not be like the full $60, and Steam's like the only thing where it feels like you still have the full gamut of ridiculous indie game all the way to AAA, and like you have all of these things in between. You have these B tier, you have these C tier games. It's like you have all like 26 letters of the alphabet.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like you have like there's so many like weird things in between. Like it's just like and I feel like if consoles just didn't put this barrier to like it can be this weird indie darling or a big game. Like you just need this like choice in between. Make it more consumer friendly, and people will give you money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I just the more you fight piracy, the more it's going to encourage people to actually do it because you're making it unconsumer friendly.
Yeah. And they seem to figure that out.
Yeah.
That's why everyone shut the hell up.
Oh, man. Nice state of video games talk there.
Yeah. So if you got something to say to us, write us at wheremyskull@noquarters.net, as in the location of my skull, not an article of clothing.
Right.
Yes, please don't wear our skull.
Also, make sure on Tuesdays to @Major Nelson and ask him where our 50-cent Blood on the Sand backwards compatible Xbox 360 game is. Man, don't forget about that.
So never happening. Which is
Yeah.
why
I don't know.
Look, if we could get-
THQ is reforming,
Oh,
like
that's
they're
true.
Voltroning
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
We
together.
can get the
is
No
true.
Quarters
They broke
Army,
apart.
all
Yeah.
75 of us together. We'll get it.
we are Tiny Legion.
Yes.
We should just start adding Fiddy. And just be like, dude, we love you. We love your game, because he fucking loves it. I think he
Look-
thinks Bulletproof is better, but he's wrong.
Yeah.
But still,
Look,
Yeah.
Fiddy, slang some of that Bitcoin money into backwards compatibility.
At
We'll
Tony
do it.
at Tony Yayo, at DJ Woo Kid. At,
We can do this.
Fuck, the other one. Who's the other G unit?
other one,
The other
game?
one.
Huh?
Not the game. He wasn't in the game.
Woo
right?
Kid, Tony Yayo. That's it. That's all.
No, there's like the accountant name one. There's like seriously, there's
Frank
Tony Banks.
Herbert.
Tony Banks.
He count.
Yeah, well, it was just like it's
I know.
compared to the other two. It's like, oh, I'm your accountant, Tony Banks, and I'm Anthony Banks, Lord Anthony Banks Jr. I'll do your taxes.
Yeah.
From accounting.
Also, obviously check us out, noquarters.net,
Yes.
with links to all our socials. But check us out at patreon.com/bmfcast, which our main show.
Yeah.
However, at the $3 level, we have a new feature called Let's Slay, which is all of us playing classic arcade games or not so classic arcade games.
Games from
haven't
the
known-
classic era of arcades.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't known a single one of these
Yeah,
games.
a
yet.
lot of beat 'em ups, a lot of shmups,
Uh-huh.
All
a
the
lot of ups.
Yes.
Oh, we got mad
Lots
ups.
of downs.
Mad ups.
all of the ones that were specifically designed to liberate your pocket of quarters as fast as possible.
Right.
We are playing those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, with unlimited credits
Right.
Of course.
and
Yeah.
unlimited commentary.
We want to see
Because
the ending.
no quarters up in this joint.
Yep.
Right.
Editorial note: it's Lloyd Banks.
Oh, so
Lloyd
you-
Banks is the-
even
Oh.
Lloyd's of London.
Lloyd's
Yeah,
of
yeah.
London banks.
It's even more accounting-y.
Okay.
But yeah, check us out. There's also other stuff, bonus podcasts, bonus videos, all sorts of. There's
Cool
something for
shit.
everyone
yeah.
there.
But that is some hot ass video game content. Let me tell you.
It's
We've been
pretty
keeping
good.
up- we've been putting them out weekly, so
Yes.
Yep.
if you want a weekly dose of us being stupid while playing video games,
Mm-hmm.
there it is.
Boom.
So yeah, check it out.
Metal Wolf.
Patreon.com/bmfcast.
Metal Fox.
Oh, it's Metal Fox. That's right.
And it's not Metal Fox.
Yes, it
know.
is.
It
Yes,
is
it
Metal
is, Chuck.
Fox.
Yeah. All right.
Also, check out on the right-hand side of noquarters.net, there is a link to our Discord where we have good, fun, wholesome discussions about video games, and we say the F word a lot to each other. So,
The fuck we do.
yes.
Exactly.
So check us out over there. We have fun. We have fun. And if you're looking for a group of people to play with, don't look there. We don't play games. No, but you can find like-minded individuals to play games with there in our No Quarters arcade channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. All sorts of good stuff
Yes.
you can find right now, like literally this moment. You can go do any of those things. So,
True.
if that's all we got, you
It
guys
is.
ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
All right, I'm Mackie,
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
and this is No Quarters Out.
Motherfucking video game podcast.
Was that your DJ Woo Kid? Just
Woo
that-
kid.
DJ Atomica here for NoQuarters.net, my favorite podcast in Paradise City.
I'm using that for the intro.
What are we talking about this week, DJ Atomica?
What did we talk about? Featured games were Monster Hunter.
No, you should just do. Hi, this is DJ Atomica, and No Quarters is my favorite podcast in Paradise City.
All right, I'll sauce it up a little.
Well, you know, more DJ Atomica than less Commander Shepard.
Sure.
Hi, DJ Atomica here. No Quarters is my favorite podcast in Paradise City.
There you go. Do we want to do a Patreon bumper, or no? Just stick with these bumpers for this one. I never know if we want to do both. Or
That
not.
one's fine.
Okay.
Go on.
Hi, DJ Atomica here. If you like the content that we're putting out at NoQuarters.net, throw a couple bones our direction at patreon.com/BMFcast.
Couple bones.
Couple
I figured that was a
Bones.
Atomica thing.
Throw
Sure.
them bones.
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 DJ Atomica here for bones.
For bones.
They're in your body. Hopefully they
Yeah.
don't come out when you wreck your car down the I-88 doing 600 miles an hour.
Oh,
But
man.
if you do crash, I hope you crash through a burnout billboard.
There's only 642 left.
Didn't Obama advertise on those at some point? I know the advertisement
I think
switched.
so.
Like Gillette was on it at some point.
Gillette. I
Burger
think it's
King.
Yeah, there's Burger King.
Diesel.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, it was only in certain areas though. It was like only in, like
Right.
Chicago or something.
Oh, did they geofence that?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Obama had billboards in there.
It was either that or Need for Speed because I know they both sold billboard space.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure it was Burnout Paradise.
So,
Yes. 17 other games also.
whoa. The wiki says that there were 92 songs on the Burnout Paradise soundtrack.
Okay.
The current EA website says that Burnout Paradise Remastered features over 80.
Well,
Well, that is over 80.
So,
They
Does-
would have said over 90.
yeah. But top of the list is Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Paradise
I mean,
City.
if it
Avril
doesn't have
Lavigne.
Paradise City,
Avril Lavigne is in there.
I'm sorry, just cranking fucking girlfriend when you're going 90 miles an hour is
Uh-huh.
pretty goddamn good.
Yep.
that also nothing sucks on the soundtrack that I remember.
there's so many good games.
And all the
this
classical
generation.
shit's there, right?
Looks like it.
I literally had the weirdest playlist. Like I would let it play Paradise City, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
hit girlfriend, and then it was like, just take me to the fucking classical shit.
Yep.
I just let it play whatever it wants to play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen
Man.
to it all.
I mean, they would be dumb not to include all the classical stuff because it's all public domain anyway, so.
It's public domain-ish.
Yeah,
Performances are not public domain.
Sure.
That's the complicated part.
man. This makes me just want to listen to our Best of the Generation episode and see like what we said about Burnout Paradise back then.
What
we said it
what
was the
was
best
Game of the Generation? You said
Well, I mean,
Or
I
Red
know
Dead
I
was
had it at
2.
number 5.
Oh, you were just saying yours?
No, I'm saying like we all talked about it.
Oh, sure.
at some
No, I
point,
just
like,
you very quickly were like Red Dead Redemption was 2, and I was like, what was higher? Rock Band?
Band.
Okay,
Yeah.
Remember Rock Band?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some
Yeah.
drums right behind me.
that's definitely a part of that. Like that's still what I'll always think about for that generation is
Never
fucking
see it
Rock
again.
Band. Yeah, it's never coming back.
I tried to fire up Rock Band 4 the other day and was just like, sad. Like, it's fun with other people. Like, when you and I played it, it was a good time.
Yeah.
We're on that wavelength tonight. I like it.
I like the Beatles Rock Band.
That's also another thing, like the fucking flawless execution of Beatles Rock Band
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
is a thing that
Yep.
too good for this world.
Yep.
We'll never see it again.
Yep.
I'm
Fed
so
up
glad-
I
with
wonder
this
how much
world.
money they lost on
They
that.
lost a lot. They came out recently and said that Beatles Rock Band was like the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah.
What a way to fucking go out, man.
Yep. But it is one of the best made video games.
That's how you become great, man. Just hang your balls out there.
BYOD.
Did they do Green Day Rock Band after that?
Yeah.
Huh?
BYDO.
God, Green Day.
That was the one that MTV had dictated that they do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were like, we don't want to do this.
I know they were negotiating for U2 at some point too.
Like, how do you go from? Like, I like Green Day, fine. Go from, like,
I watch it. The live stream's still on, so the focusing is real fun here.
fucking,
That Green Day game was pretty good though.
you go from the fucking.
I know.
I mean, they shot the moon the first time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like they should have worked up to it or something.
All right, I'm turning this live stream off.
Because like Guitar Hero had what, Van Halen and Bye, Aerosmith, which were, I mean, they weren't terrible.
Those are. I mean, they're probably
They
good
gave
choices
Van Halen
for-
away for free.
Yeah,
If you bought Guitar Hero 5.
yeah.
But
I
that
have
was
my
after
free
it had been out
copy.
For a
No.
couple years, wasn't it? Or no?
No.
It had been out for a little
Who
while.
did AC/DC? Was that Rock Band?
Yeah.
But it was like all
It
live
was all
tracks.
live bullshit because AC/DC was convinced people were going to steal their music.
From Rock
Yeah.
Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be the source, not
Yeah.
like Napster or anything else.
Yeah,
LimeWire.
Jen actually-
They're already stealing your music because you won't let anybody download it legally. Thank you.
Yeah. Jen actually asked me where we just put on like classic rock on Spotify, like a random thing.